Okay, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, and today we are going to be talking about tomorrow's update. As you know, we've been having discussion streams each day, and I think they're quite important because they give us a chance to really talk to one another and also see, how people are feeling, what's up, all that kind of stuff. I've really been enjoying them these past few days, so let's get started, shall we? First, I'm going to post to my Discord, as I always do. And then we will carry on from there. So let's get everything started. All right. And we will have some fun. Okay. Okie plus dokie plus day. Give me one teeny tiny second. I just realized something. One moment. This will be resolved in a second. So just realize what the issue was. Okay, here we go. Just trying to make sure TikTok also goes live and does its thing. Okay, great. Now TikTok is live too, and we appear to be good to go. So, once again, welcome everybody. Let me quickly post to Discord, as I always do. Then we'll tweet, and then we'll get the discussion started. No, it's tomorrow, Ryan. So, today is a discussion and a poll. We're just asking what people think. Because I think at the end of the day, it's very important to recognize that. Oh. Okay, 1 second. Gotta resolve some issues. Sorry about that, family. There was a really weird issue that impacted YouTube for a second because of TikTok. So I'm gonna need a minute to resolve that, and I'm not quite sure why it happened, but you know what? I'm just going to put it down to TikTok being funky fresh. It does do that sometimes. Okay, sorry about that. All right, now we should be good to go. There should be no troubles on YouTube, even though, TikTok is going on at the same time. Sorry about that, and for the TikTok crowd, very sorry about the constant fluctuations on, not on, here, on, whatever. Sorry about that. It does take a while to get things right sometimes with tech, but all right, now we're good to go. So we will momentarily begin the polls. First, I have to tweet and tell everybody that we are live. Okay. Let me know if there are any problems on YouTube, by the way, but I don't think there are. But if indeed you guys are experiencing any issues on YouTube, do not hesitate to let me know. Okay, and we can
New
fix
subscriber
it.
detected.
Because where possible, I try to stream to both YouTube and TikTok at the same time. It just helps me gain more exposure and also helps us reach a wider audience. And more people can get inducted into the Robot Nation that way. By the way, while you guys wait, if you have not yet or heard it, all right, you might want to check out my latest track. Hey, D-Russ, good to see you. Everyone, Primal Luke, Corpse Go, JC, welcome. More than happy to do these videos because at the end of the day, I'm sure that they will help many people, not just me. Okay. Now, give me a second. Okay, YouTube's looking fine. TikTok's looking fine. Just gonna tweet now. Okay, good. And bang, tweeted. Okay, great. People will now know we're live. Chad, we're actually just having a discussion stream as per normal. Although the main discussion will be on YouTube rather than TikTok. But yes, that is what we've been doing these past few days. And it's been very successful because a lot of people have gotten their chance to have their say about the game. And I think it's really interesting to hear what people like. Okay, there we go. Always build, Everald. The update's out tomorrow. There's no main focus today, it's just an overall kind of thing. Mainly, I'm just finding out whether people think the update's cooking or cooked, which is exactly what I'm going to start in the poll on YouTube right now. Alright. Okay, first option. Okay, here is a poll. The poll has been started, so everyone can have their say on YouTube if you'd like. And yeah, absolutely, Chad. Chad's just saying on TikTok that he's ready for the new content, but, you know, overall doesn't want to say one way or the other without trying it. I can agree with that sentiment, you know. Let's see what happens. Well, 8-man, I mean, why did you think that those specific mountings would be great? We don't know what's gonna come. I think you're over-preparing a little bit.
New super chat received.
Thank you, D-Russ, for that lovely super chat. No problem, Monster. You know the builds are always here to help. All right, let's rock and roll, fam-lam. I'm actually just going to go to the large nuclear reactor and see if I can farm another reactor for fun. I want one with skill cooldown and skill cost, so I'm going to go get that, which I think might be good.
New super chat received.
Thanks for the super, Chester. Good to see you on the green as well. Well, a raid boss for public, that's out of my jurisdiction. You'll have to ask the devs. But again, raids aren't going to happen, guys, before co-op ever gets into this game. Just vote in the poll, JC. Just vote in the poll. We'll see what the people have to say. You know? If you think it's gonna double, then good. And with the skill tree, we don't know what the grind's gonna be, but we'll take a look at it stage by stage. Because, quite frankly, the skill tree, if they introduce it into the current state of the game, here's my thought, right? Isn't it gonna make Descendants more powerful? So Descendant, and Ines is not getting nerfed now, right? She's getting nerfed like in April. So you've got a month of an Ines being even stronger than now, you know? This game doesn't have more players because, I'll be real with you, other than the people who play it all day, every day, the game is very boring. Realistically, what is gameplay? This is the gameplay. It's sitting here farming a reactor because this is the best possible mission that we have.
There's no getting away.
So that's why this game doesn't have more players. And at the same time, most people are playing solo, which again gets very boring. I mean, realistically speaking, if not for me speaking to you guys every day in chat, I'm pretty sure I would be in the same boat. I don't think I'd have as much motivation. I just come here to show off my music, you know, talk with you guys, and I do my farming in between. I'm looking for skill cooldown, skill cost for Serena. I don't know if I'll get one, but I'm just gonna chill. If I get one, I get one. If I don't, I don't. It's fine. I'm a relaxed man. But I definitely think that skill cost will be a major factor. At least based on my interpretation. I could always be wrong. I mean, those who are addicted and want to farm, you know, go for it. I'm like, relax, man. You know, do whatever you want. But for me, I just know that there's literally nothing for us to actually farm for. So you got to be both gold rolls, mate. One gold roll isn't enough. Well, no, actually, disconnecting PS4 doesn't mean that the player count is low. Disconnecting PS4 is to advance the game. Sorry to say, but as much as I hate saying it, I've told you guys this before. Playing a video game on old hardware just doesn't fly. You can't do that. Even if the old hardware is supported, what it does is that it just makes the game worse because basically they're trying to optimize across different generations of consoles, which is not going to go well. Pretty much the one. That's correct. Doing good. Ancient Grizzly. Can't really complain. Just sitting here talking with everybody. Hearing their opinions. Hearing what they have to say. And dude, if you're not going to waste money on a PS5 and you're going to wait 2 years for PS6, bro. If gaming is your hobby, you got to be willing to drop on a new console as soon as it comes out, man. Just like how I get a new PC with all new components every 3 years, man. Gaming is an expensive hobby. You gotta be invested, man. Listen, no problem, Charlie. Have your say. Have your say. Actually, in the past, Primal Luke, what I will say is that I used to encourage people to take breaks from this game. The problem is that nowadays they don't come back because there's nothing for them to do. What would I consider a success for 2.2? Listen, this whole arcade tuning system, it needs to help the Descendants find balance. If it's just going to be a Paragon tree where everyone picks roughly the same perks, it's going to be a problem. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I need to see how much effort they really put into their arcade tuning. Because realistically speaking, this needs to be something like a proper Paragon tree. Because if the arcade tuning system can help to balance Descendants, then, you know, that might genuinely help. And yes, Serena's coming out tomorrow, Matthew. Of course, War Ghost. You need to check my bow tutorial, and of course, builds will be coming out later as we progress, as we go through. You know? But, yeah, that will take a bit of a backseat first, because I'm going to focus on the update. But yeah, I plan on doing builds. I'm already working on them for Monster Hunter anyway. Well, that's why you gotta get new stuff every time, man. Don't ever spend on a game. Spend on your hardware first. If you're not gonna update your hardware, don't update the game. Or don't spend on the game, you know? Honest answer. Hey, Martin, thanks for the donut. I appreciate the donut. But War Ghost, you need to be tuning into more of my Monster Hunter streams, alright? Every morning. Well, most mornings. They'll take a backseat for a while, but we'll be back at it probably next week. Because this weekend is mostly going to be dedicated to TFD. Well, yes, the Paragon thing is in Diablo 3, Diablo 4. When I looked at arcade tuning, it looked like a Paragon tree. So, I'm like, okay. So they're getting some Paragon tree stuff going. That looks interesting. As long as it brings unique benefits, you know, it'll be awesome. You're welcome, Matthew. Just remember, if anyone is buying stuff tomorrow, please, oops, sorry. Please make sure you guys actually register me as your creator. Help a brother out. You like the discussions, you like the streams, let's support. We don't know that for sure, Finesse, but we'll see. You know, I'm always open-minded. You see, this arcade tuning system, we don't know whether it'll be good or bad. So, I have my hopes, but we should wait until it comes out and then we can decide. TFD is actually very well optimized. I mean, if you look at Monster Hunter Wilds, the optimization there is literal garbage. Like, it is the worst, and I hope they fix it soon because it is actual garbage. I don't actually, like, genuinely, messing around with settings has been, like, 95% of my pain. And I don't want to have to use mods just to fix that because, also, console peeps are going to suffer for no reason. Now then, those of you that have registered me as your creator, good. And also, don't forget to listen to my latest track, yeah? Well, Matthias, you're probably single-handedly paying server costs along with CG and all the rest. I'm glad you are enthused for it. But yeah, for me, I'm actually curbing my spending on this game. Not until I either make more money or until this game shows me it's worth it. Because at this current moment, hate to say it, but it's not worth it. I'm not even, like, hyped to buy a single skin. Because I just don't feel it's going to be good. Of course, I'll reserve my judgment after seeing the skins. I might flip my mind, you know. But, so far, I'm not enthused yet. Listen, PS4 is old hardware. Once every 2 to 3 years, you gotta upgrade your hardware. Always. I don't think they should do Prime mods or things like that because that's just another Warframe idea. They need to develop their own identity. What they need to do, Spec, right now, I'll be real with you, is that they need to develop, get their own identity. They need to make this their own game. Now then, let's take a look at the polls so far. We've got about 76 votes in the polls so far. 57% of players actually think the player count is going to double. Okay, it's 58 around there, so it's more than the majority. 3% actually think it's going to triple. You guys got some high hopes for a living. Love you guys. 4% of people actually quit the game, but they just watch me. Thank you very much for that. And 36% say this game is cooked. Okay, damn. I did get the Hot Spring skins, but that's why I'm easing off spending. Because the Hot Spring skins was like the last big bundle that I got. I don't know that I'm going to buy the next one. I will wait and see. I'm gonna take this one slow. Normally, as soon as the update drops, I go in there, I buy those skins. 100%. 100%, I tell you. I have never ever shied away from going in and straight up buying that skin. But, you know, I'm not eager this time. Because I think I need to see for myself whether it's going to be worth it. See, one thing that I don't like is that New Descendant comes out. The old skins, like the Twisted Worship, which is for all females, don't fit the New Descendant when they could just put it on the same model. So, you know, I don't like that. I feel like it's a bit of a money grab. So right now, unless they're delivering me quality, and also my earnings have gone down because with the lower player count, there's less people ready to super chat. There's less people ready to sponsor the stream and stuff like that. So I've got less disposable income, and more of it goes toward my expenses, rent, family, all that kind of stuff, which is why I told people, I was just upfront and honest. I told people last month was one of my worst earning months, which is why I was like, okay, you know what? Sorry, I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to be investing day one. You know, I'm not going to be dropping that dosh day one. I'm going to wait and see. And if, you know, we get more viewership, more people in, more love in the chat or whatever, you know, sure, I might spend, but I'm going to take care of my family first. I think that's more important. So, yeah, I'm going to take it slow this time around. You need an option for the count will stay the same. Just pick the cooked option. I feel that there's going to be a lot to do, but at the same time, I can understand. You see, based on the opinions that have been given in the last few streams, I do kind of feel that this time around, people are not as excited as before.
This is going to hurt.
Which is why I'm doing this poll and discussion today, because I wanted to see where the player hype level is at, you know? Are we really super hyped for this update? Or is it just the good folks that, you know, really support this game? Are they the only ones that are hyped? Because I'm sorry to say, but 50% of the player base can't carry this game on hype alone. I already played Monster Hunter today, player. It was this morning's stream, if you missed it. You gotta be on in the mornings if you want to catch Monster Hunter. I don't play Monster Hunter in the evening, sorry. Evenings are my TFD time with my TFD community. Plus, most of my buddies are NA based, so I play with them in the mornings. I don't even know what the skins are, and like I said, I'm gonna be reserved on them. Unless I feel that it's worth my time. The only one I might get a skin for is Serena, but even then, I'm gonna see what the donations and super chats look like. I just want to be real and honest with you guys. I'm gonna wait for that. Ultimate Blair is not coming tomorrow. That's coming in April. So, and again, that's gonna come with its own package, so it's gonna be another big expense. I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see how this month goes. Oh, I mean, it's a fun new toy to play around with. Back in the day when we had nothing to do, we all flew around as Kyle because it was hilarious. You know, with Serena being able to fly a bit more. I was also a niche for the Warhammer 40k fans who absolutely love Sisters of Battle. Because I'll say it straight. Serena is basically a Sister of Battle Seraphim taken from Warhammer 40k. Literally goes pound for pound. If you look at her abilities, they're all rooted in faith, redemption, repentance, penitence, all that. That's all Sisters of Battle. For anyone that knows Warhammer 40k or is a Warhammer 40k fan like me, you would look at Serena's abilities, and Arcane went and extracted all the abilities for me yesterday from the live stream. He actually went through the whole thing and screenshot it for me. I read all the abilities. I actually know what they do. I looked at them. I was like, this is literally Sisters of Battle's faith abilities. If you actually look at the Sisters of Battle lore, and you look up the Seraphim unit, that's Sisters of Battlefield, they're literally Sisters of Battle with a jump pack that jump into combat. They look exactly like what Serena looks like. So I'm like, hey, one of the devs must be a 40k fan because, hell yeah. Chester, I think you gotta check your spelling, because what is a Rena grind? Rena is my mod. Trying to grind my mod, bro? No, I'm sorry you feel that way, Charlie, and you're welcome to your opinion, but I have to disagree on one point, all right? Quite frankly, cutting off the old gen is something that needs to happen, because guess what? If you're optimizing for old hardware, you're not paying attention to new hardware. And that's a big problem. It also limits what you can do. So, I hate to say it, and I'm very sorry, but that part of your statement is untrue. They, in fact, as soon as new games should automatically phase out old generation consoles, once the new generation has been released for about a year or two. That is how it works. Jindan, just follow the build that I have on my channel. I've already posted my builds. Follow my builds, dude. If you don't follow my builds, there's nothing I can do to help you. You want to get stronger? Follow the builds. You don't use the builds, literally, there is nothing I can do for you. Well, whether you play on PC or not, the statement is still incorrect, Charlie. Phasing out older consoles is the correct way to do. Yep. Well, anyone who wants to enjoy games in general, PC is the way to go. But keep in mind that PC is far more expensive than a console because you have to keep upgrading your RAM, GPU, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm trying to hold on with this slightly older PC that I've got. If I can hold on for at least half the year, I can probably get a good 50 series card, and that's what I'm waiting for. Then I can upgrade the whole setup. Be excited for whatever you want to be excited about. Just vote in the poll so we can see where people are at.
Begin tracking.
And no luck, it's, I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. I don't know anything about the update, okay? Because I'm the kind of guy that will play alongside you when it drops. So, any questions you have about new stuff coming tomorrow, don't ask me right now. Ask me tomorrow when I'm actually playing it alongside you guys. But I can tell you, I'm going to farm Serena first and get my doggo first. First, I'm going to go get my new dog. Then I'm going to go get Serena. Well, of course it's dry, and it will remain dry. Because if all the update does is introduce some new toys for us, then you guys are going to be busy for about 1 or 2 weeks, and then get bored. And that is if you go through every single toy. So, this is usually the problem with most games these days. Farming for the dog upgrades is not tough. It's very easy. You can literally run through the Void Vessel with either an S or Keelan. Blossom, we are all aware of that, and please do not use caps in my chat, alright? Please be respectful of other people in the chat. If you're here to just shout your words by using caps, we're not going to hear you better. In fact, we're going to just throw you out of chat, so please tone it down, alright? Speak normally. We're not going to hear you better if you yell, okay? Yeah, I'm not the type of person to always be ready. I do it if there's nothing better to do, but sometimes I feel that if you pre-prep for everything, you're only taking down the content for yourself. Because part of the fun is that when new stuff drops, you go farm with your friends, or you go farm with your chat. Well, figuratively speaking, obviously, I will be playing it alone, but I'll be playing it while you guys are here. So, that's what I like to do. That's why I don't pre-farm a lot of stuff, like, unless it's like, you know, right now I've got nothing better to do, so I'm just pre-farming. Because what else am I going to do while talking to you guys for like 3 hours? So, yeah. The male descendants doing poorly is exactly the issue. First and foremost, Tyler, nobody's acting like that, so if somebody is acting like that, that's not the case because I'm looking at what's being said in chat. Nobody's acting like that. Alright, so please do not try and stir the pot. Well, thank you, Blossom. Please do not try and say that something is important, so you're writing in caps. Just chat normally. It's okay. We'll hear you out. Okay? It's just a... You know, we're all chill here. So, yeah. You can pre-prep the reactor if you want, but I prefer not to. And, John, I'm not quite sure where you got that information, but I have to say that that is untrue. Maybe in your country, or maybe you've got a deal where you live, but where I'm at, any good gaming PC is about 3 times the cost of a PlayStation 5, at minimum. Most good gaming PCs are going to run you 5 times the cost of a PlayStation 5. So, you know, either way, we're not here to talk about console versus PC or anything like that. Play on whatever you want. But the point that I did make is this. Make sure that you guys upgrade your hardware because you're going to need that hardware in order to enjoy your video games for the long term. Of course, Keelan's cooldown is too long, but they still haven't buffed him yet. So, guys, you got to make some noise.
Begin tracking.
I don't follow console stuff, so you have to ask another console person whether or not you have to abandon the game. I would say go and get the latest gaming hardware for whatever console you have. But my apologies, I don't follow the generations of consoles, so I have no idea. Oh, I'm just farming Serena's reactor while debating the nude poll on YouTube, Galen. If you want to participate in the poll, head over to YouTube. Yeah. You have to go and farm the modules. Have you watched my video? Jin, it sounds like you haven't studied any of my videos. Just watching the build videos isn't going to help you. You need to start by watching the videos where I teach you guys how to farm modules, things like that. You can't just quickly get modules. Go and check my guide on how to find and farm everything, then go and farm the modules you need, all that kind of stuff. This game is a stage-by-stage process. You got to study. So if you haven't studied my videos, please, I really recommend you go study all my videos. Don't just look at the build video and try to build it. You're going to fail. You need to read all the other stuff. You're going to watch all the other videos, understand everything. I put my playlist in chat. Please go check out my playlist. And then from there on, you can learn more. Okay?
This is going to sting a little.
I mean, if you want to pre-prep, go ahead. Like I said, just because I don't prefer to pre-prep doesn't mean it's a negative. You know, do whatever you want. And listen, Lee, I like the game too. It's just not doing so hot right now. I'm hoping it'll do better.
Begin tracking.
For the person on TikTok who said TFD is doing fine, not really. We have dipped to our lowest player count yet. So, yeah. See you later, Najo. The game doesn't just have balance issues, the game's got a lot of issues, hence the entire problem. If it was just balance issues, that would be fixed easily. The problem is, this game has hella issues. I am aware of all player counts. You do realize that the console player count also fell just like Steam player counts. My friend, I'm an official Nexon Content Creator. Sorry, this is for the person on TikTok. In case you didn't actually know, okay, you're talking to an official Nexon Content Creator, so I'm aware that there are console players. You do realize that in order to produce information or to debate anything on stream, I am required not to state misinformation. So when I make a statement, please take note that I have to have all the facts. The last time that I got something wrong, I had to make an apology video because that's what an official creator is supposed to do. So please be aware of that. I don't make any statement lightly because I have to be responsible for what I say and what I tell people. Okay? So this is for that TikTok person. I'm aware. But please take note, you're talking to an official. For the ones who are worrying, look, I wouldn't say that the player count is not 7K. There are console players. Please don't forget that. Steam is an indication of the trend, which is where you guys need to be aware of that. All right? Steam is an indication of the trend. Well, I like to be thorough in my statement. So if you understood after the first sentence, good, but I'm not going to calm down. All right? This is what you're going to get if you ever try and inform me about stuff. Now, the Steam count is a good indicator of the trend. So what we do is we actually look at the overall trend and we can see that the trend is going downward. It's trailing downward. But that doesn't mean that the game's going to die or anything. you know, we don't look at that. However, if you look at the console data as well, console trends are also going downward, unfortunately. This is what prompted the recent discussion streams that I've been having, and the fact that we are talking constantly about these, because I want to get to the root cause of the issue and find out what players think. Because guess what? As much as they are listening to the community, they're not listening enough to the right people. They appear to be listening to the wrong folks, and that is an issue. That is a very big issue, because what they have done, as I pointed out in my recent video, is that they appear to be listening to the people who find content so difficult that they're watering down. Think about it this way. They have watered down content continuously every single time that new content has been released. They're about to water down Void Erosion Purge, despite the fact that they're releasing Arcade Tuning, which is going to help Descendants. So that strikes me as really weird. They're going to release things that are apparently going to make us more powerful. Maybe it's only defensive abilities, but even then, that's going to be kind of boring. I hope it's not just defensive abilities. I hope it's actually offensive too. If you're going to make us more powerful, why exactly are you also going to nerf Void Erosion Purge? Because that, again, makes no sense. So this watering down of content has been what has actually made the game more boring and bland, because previously there used to be some challenge in taking care of the hard mode Colossi. We used to have bossing nights because people, you know, they needed help. So we used to actually have community bossing nights, and it was a great bit of fun every Saturday. But then people stopped needing them because they watered down the content, so we stopped them. I now play Marvel Rivals every Saturday with my friends.
You can't escape.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna wait and see what it actually comes out to be, because there were a couple of different interpretations, but I do hope that there are offensive abilities. That being said, again, it brings the whole thing back to the issue of they're about to give us a power-up. Why are they watering down the content again? Well, Jinx, I hope to see you on my Monster Hunter content then. All right, I want to catch you at some streams and on my videos too, all right? Because I'll be working on some Monster Hunter Wilds videos. But even Monster Hunter Wilds, right now, they still have a long way to go because they haven't released enough monsters. We still don't have Tempered Zoshia, and I'm looking forward to the Mizutsune and a lot of the other ones that are coming out. I hope they drop some more shit because, yeah, man, come on. I'm waiting.
There's no getting away. This is going to sting a little.
What? You want to report me, TikTok person? I mean, okay, whatever.
Let's end this.
I would like to see more mechanics in the gameplay too, yeah. But unfortunately, the last time we had mechanics, you know what happened?
Damn them.
People table flipped, and that's why we have no mechanics now. When the game first started in Season 0, several of the Colossi have mechanics, but they removed all that. And if Frostwalker's kicking your butt, you're not following the builds.
Keep
I
trying.
mean, that's the problem. Follow the builds, you won't be getting your butt kicked. Next mukbang stream when enough people donate for me to have a big meal. No money. I mean, I probably will do one. I've limited it to about once every 2 weeks, to be honest. But it's actually because of health reasons, not weight reasons, not money reasons. I just prefer to do it when I feel like I can afford the extra calories. So I usually do it about once every 2 weeks. Yeah, absolutely. That's the problem, Tunnel Rat, because that's exactly what we discussed. We had some great stuff. Like the Deathstalker, I think, was the peak of mechanics and all that kind of things, you know? And Charlie, they're not going to add new elements to the game. That's not how it works, man. Listen, Bao. I feel the same way, except that people don't bother learning. I usually learned all the mechanics in one run, but people complain about mechanics so much, mechanics got nerfed, and that's why we've got no mechanics right now. Everything is just go in, blast as soon as you can, and then enemy dies. There you go. It is tomorrow, Aether. We're just having a poll and discussion today. Guys, I hate to say it, but please read the title, okay? When the update is here, I will say, the update is here, guys. If it says discussion and poll, we are just having a discussion, my friends. They can't do another Deathstalker boss, you see, because they've backed themselves into a corner tunnel rat. They've literally dug themselves into this hole, whereby, do the new Abyss Colossi have mechanics? No, they don't. All the Abyss Colossi do is take damage, and they are not focusing on releasing new Colossi. They're literally just doing a rotational Abyss Colossi. And even though they said that Infernal Walker would rotate, they made Infernal Walker and he's not coming back. Like, when's he coming back? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the issue right now. They have dug themselves into this hole, and they are not actually digging themselves out. They're digging themselves in deeper. So how are they gonna get out of that box when they're putting themselves further in the box? You get what I mean? Listen, you all better read in chat, or else, you know. Hey, Joe. Foxarella, good to see you. And listen, they were inspired by Warframe, but that's exactly the thing that we debated a couple of days back. I think that they need...
New subscriber detected.
They need to form their own identity rather than copying Warframe. Jindan, I don't know why you're asking me about that. You do realize I'm a Celestial rank player, right? In Marvel Rivals. And if you haven't checked out my Marvel Rivals streams, you really should be checking them out if you want to learn some serious support play. I solo queue to Celestial. Support main, by the way. All good, Aether. But welcome to the discussion. It's okay. We don't judge anybody here. You're all welcome to discuss. Today we're just having a discussion and a poll in chat. Feel free to have your say. But the update is tomorrow. I'll be here with you when the update drops. Well, no, I'm actually just talking with chat, but since there's nothing else to do, I may as well reactor farm, right? I'm also still waiting for that guy on TikTok to report me, you know, because he got very offended at getting a brain lesson. I can't wait for him to send a report to Nexon, just like all the other people that get pissed off with my no bullshit style, you know. They'll complain to Nexon. Your creator was so mean to me. And Nexon is not going to give a shit. Because literally, I'm within the rules and I'm following the rules. I literally have a contract that I've never disobeyed, so bring it the fuck on. Okay? Man, and if anyone else is my hater, please go. You can go to the Nexon website, report me too if you want. It's not going to do anything, but if it makes you feel better, you know, go ahead.
Keep trying.
Jermaine, I'm sorry, but no. You cannot come to a streamer's chat, alright, and use it to recruit people. That's not right, okay? So I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to be muted for 5 minutes. Please, please do not come to a streamer's chat and try to find people to play with or look for people to play with, because you're supposed to be here for my stream. If you're not here for my stream, then I'm sorry, sir. You're gonna have to leave. You can use the official Discord to recruit people, or you can use the recruitment chat in game, but you're never supposed to do that at a stream. Now, I wouldn't go that far, 8-man. I just follow the rules.
This is going to sting a little.
Well, for one thing, Brenna. The person's on YouTube, so they're not going to see that. And you've literally just heard my explanation, so do not do that. Yeah?
There's no getting away.
Monster Hunter is a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But I'm waiting for more monsters to come out because it just doesn't feel like there's enough to kill, you know? I mean, right now I'm just working on builds for all the weapons, but man, I need to kill more. I need to find more things to murder. Well, that's why I told you, Emin, you're not supposed to use Valby. You're supposed to use the proper characters that I've made builds for. That's kind of one of the problems with TFD. You can't use what you enjoy. You're supposed to use what's best. Other than that, you might have to find a creator that does Valby exclusively. But I'm not going to use Valby because she's inefficient. You get what I mean? An endurance game mode might help, but, you know, right now, the problem is that if that endurance game mode is another bit of solo content, it's not really going to encourage players to socialize. Therefore, the player count's going to keep going down because we've got no reason to play with each other.
This is where it ends.
That is a part of the problem. Listen, I will happily leave your Valby alone. By the way, hey Lawbreaker, good to see you.
This is going to
You can play whatever character you want to play, just don't expect me to make the build for it. Because if you're having difficulty with stuff, you follow my build, you won't have a problem. But you're supposed to build the character that I build. Okay, you can't just use your character and ask me to shoehorn it. I'm not gonna do that.
You can't escape.
You see, Toothiest Wolf, that is entirely the problem. Skills working in Purge is not going to help the game. Because what you're doing is watering down content, which is already the big problem. If you just make everything possible, then an S can just run straight to the end, which is gonna be another, you know, no-brain content. No problem, Gar. Happy to help.
Keep trying.
But Toothiest Wolf, what you gotta understand is that the solution for this is not simple. We can't just make skills viable because that's just gonna make the content more speedrun. I.e., people are just gonna go in with a skill-based Descendant, speedrun the content, and come back out. Then there's no point to Void Erosion Purge. The devs cannot keep caving to the player base because, quite frankly, the first thing that the devs made Void Erosion Purge for was for gunplay. If they nerf it down, you know, and they keep creating situations whereby they water down the content, you know,
It's going to hurt.
it's gonna be going against the idea of challenging. Well, I can understand the point that you're trying to make, EC, but the thing is that if we just allow skills to go in there, right, and do their thing, then everybody's just gonna speedrun it again with an S, which is no different to the rest. Gara, I've already addressed that, so it's not worth talking about. Let's focus on topic, okay? Please don't ask about things that have previously been settled already. We shouldn't do that. Let's focus on the topic now. I have no reason to participate in tournaments, Jin. I'm a content creator. I'm not here to play tournaments, and I'm not an esports pro. That's not my thing. I just get the ranks that I want and then make content, guides, things like that. I haven't made any guides for Marvel Rivals, but that's because I've been lazy and working on content for other games. Well, Zelk, that could be a thing, but again, that's not going to attract players to come back and we don't have any reason to play that. That's the problem. You see, right now with the game the way it is, there is no middle ground because there's no mechanics. I don't disagree with your suggestions, but how are we going to have some middle ground where skills are useful and guns are also useful? Guns and skills will never be equivalent. Content is supposed to be designed for guns only or skills only. That's how it's always been. Because the last time we introduced mechanics, people had a fit. If we want both skills and guns to be viable, sure. But then it's going to have a whole co-op system whereby you have to bring a gun descendant and a skill descendant and build a team. But there's no incentive to co-op right now. If they force people to co-op, people are just going to table flip and not do it. Just exactly like what they did, because guess what? You could matchmake in the later stages of Void Erosion Purge, or you could even form teams, and people already didn't do that. This is exactly what we debated over the last few days, which is why I'm telling you guys, if you tune into the streams and you hear the discussions, you'll see why I'm not saying these things to shoot down your ideas. I want these things. I like your ideas. We can't have them because there's no system to support them. When Void Erosion Purge came out and people were required to form teams, alright, nobody did it. Nobody did it because everybody wanted to be able to do it solo, which was the original intent, and the devs literally made it that way. The devs were the ones who said, yeah, you can solo through most of this game. They turned their game into a solo fest by making all the Colossi solo as well. So you have a situation where people who've never literally gotten to endgame without ever working in a team before, and you want them to go into a chat and socialize and form a team, that's not going to happen. And that's exactly what didn't happen. So, yeah. I mean, being able to choose who or what level matchmaking, that's all well and good, but matchmaking is completely unused right now. Hence the other issue. All these systems are great, but first and foremost, you have to give players a reason to matchmake. You have to give players a reason to interact and socialize, which we don't have. Which is why yesterday's debate, alright, what was the one point, and Zelg heard this because he was literally here for the whole stream. I'll tell you right now. Here's the big point. Here's the big point. You see, having to use the Discord for that, Zelg, is also another problem. It shouldn't be a Discord to gather people. It should be all in-game. It should literally be all in-game. If we don't do that, then, you know, it's no good. Hey, Martin, congrats on becoming member level 11. I don't know what that means, but I'm happy for you. Anyway, coming back to the point, there needs to be a foundation for co-op play first. That means to say, it needs to start with the base. Right now, we've got no foundation to build up. All that's left are the hardcore fans who enjoy this game, but we need growth. Like any company out there, we need growth. Absolutely, Zelf. I don't disagree with that. You know, we need growth, and we need players to actually want to play this game, to actually have fun with this game. But how do we do that without a foundation? The foundation, first and foremost, has to address the biggest gripe in this game, which is loot. By encouraging socialization in order to get loot, then absolutely that'll work. Sharon weapons, you can use anything that has high crit, because then you can take advantage of the ambush. But honestly, I don't play Sharon for gun build, because I just don't find her useful for that. So my apologies. I would say Afterglow is probably your best bet right now, but I genuinely don't use Sharon for gun, because she is not, like, hyper efficient. For me, I've got this time, and a lot of the time I spend interacting with you guys, which is why I usually only make the most efficient stuff. So my apologies. You might have to look up some other guidance for Sharon, because I have no reason right now specifically to use Sharon, you know. I don't use Valby because there are better choices. Like I said, if I want to get farming done, and this is the entire problem that TFD is having right now, what's better than literally just sitting here? I can sit here and talk to you guys and complete this mission continuously by standing in the circle and just shooting my skills with an S. So why would I want to play Valby where I have to actually move around and leave water trails when I can literally just do this? So it's nothing to do with me liking or using Valby, it's just that there's no efficiency. Why use something inefficient solely for the purpose of fun? That's not helpful to me. If I've only got 3 hours to farm my stuff, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to use my most efficient thing, which is exactly how most of the player base thinks. So y'all can farm with whatever you want, but I've got to read chat. I've got to continuously read chat, so I literally move to what is effectively the most brain-dead character there is. I mean, people can use whatever they want for farming Machiavelli. The thing is, people ask why I don't use Valby. Like, literally, that's the point. Like, what's the point of using Valby? I have to walk up there, walk there, walk there. What's the point? Rob, are you watching the stream live? Because the PS4 discussion was a while ago. Could somebody check if Rob is watching the stream live? Because some people, they watch the stream back and they don't realize that they're not at the live, so they're commenting, but they're not syncing up with what is actually being said in chat. So could somebody just check on Rob if you wouldn't mind?
Let's end this.
Oh, absolutely, Lawrence. I've played and used every character in the game. Again, it just boils down to efficiency. And you hit the nail on the head. That's why the game is like this. They have made a situation whereby you need to be efficient to get loot. So if you're not efficient, you're wasting your... Excuse me for choking. I have to apply this lip balm, but it always chokes me. But it's very good for my lips. You have a situation whereby you have to farm stuff, but you don't have the opportunity to actually farm. If I've got 3 hours of playtime, I'm not wasting it being inefficient. I'm going to be as efficient as possible. Exactly, Zelk. Do I think this update will help the characters? I don't know. We'll have to see what actually comes out of the... Because, okay, for example, let's look at Valby farming versus Ines farming. I have to go toward the enemies in order to actually do any damage or do anything at all. Whereas Ines can just stand in place. Same with Freyna. Freyna can just stand in place, whereas Bunny has to run around. So, at the end of the day, I'm losing efficiency and I'm losing playtime. So, for the person who might be tight on time, and I'm a full-time content creator, but even then I'm tight on time. You know, if I had 7 hours a day to leisurely play the game I want and make money doing that, no problem. But I don't. I have whatever hours I allocate to my various streams and content, and that's what I get. So if I've got 3 hours to play this game, doing anything inefficient is just terrible. The update, tomorrow 1 p.m. my time. But anyway, there will be a stream that will go on during the maintenance, where we can all just sit and chill. I always do that, so... If you do not know the timings, then wait for tomorrow's stream. Otherwise, check the official Discord. No, Ines is faster. Because you have to stand in a circle. I mean, I don't disagree with that, Zelk. Yes, if you want to play the meta, play the meta. You want to play for fun, do whatever you want, sure. But, you know, that still unfortunately doesn't address the issue. Because if that was all it took, this game would be thriving. But it isn't. So, again, we still got to address the issues. I love that kind of sentiment. But yeah, the issues are too glaring right now. I would like to reach a state whereby all characters, to an extent, can be viable. But we are unfortunately not reaching that state. Not yet, anyway. That's why I'm trying to have some high hopes for arcade tuning. I think that if arcade tuning goes well, it might actually do good. Machiavelli, please check the build video.
There's no getting away.
All right. I hate saying it, but you know the rules. If you go and actually watch the build video, everything is answered in there. You should never need to ask it on a stream, and you shouldn't be asking it on a stream, because these build videos are already there with all full information for you guys. So please do follow the build videos. And Emin, no, it's not, and you should not be asking that. So if you hate to be the one asking this, do not ask. Because that should not be the focus of the game, my friend. You know better than that, Emin. I don't think it's that they changed their vision, CJ, mister. I believe that what has happened is that they were a bit limited by the fact that they had to support the older consoles. So now they're changing their pathway, but unfortunately, it might be coming a little late. So we'll have to see how they evolve from this point. But the problem with these devs is that they're overly nice. They have overly focused on catering to their player base even when it was wrong. And this is what has caused a lot of problems because they watered down a lot of content. They made a lot of things irrelevant rather than focusing on bringing new content or their vision to life. So that was the problem. Honestly, I'm just farming while having a discussion. I'm not even paying real attention to the farming because I can do it with my eyes closed. As for the Excava, it should be coming out tomorrow, but I'll confirm in the patch notes when we go through it live on stream tomorrow.
This is where it ends. You can't escape.
Exactly the problem, though, Toothiest Wolf. Ultimate Blair is dropping in April, not tomorrow. But that's exactly the problem, Toothiest Wolf, because as soon as some guy cries about the content, instead of rising up to the challenge, the player base has been taught very bad habits. The player base has literally been taught to cry as soon as something doesn't go their way, and then the devs apologize and pacify them as if they're children, which is not correct. That's not how you bring your vision to life, because all you're doing is bringing a kiddie version. You're bringing the Weenie Hut Jr. version of the game to life, which is the problem. The Korean devs have a vision, but every time they try to bring their vision or their way, we as a community, and I'm sorry to say this, I know it's not you guys, but I have to say it, we as a community, we don't rise up to the challenge. Day one, people already came to my stream and complained, Void Erosion Purge is too hard. I was like, nah, there'll be a way to get through it. Like, it is a bit ridiculous, but, you know, surely there'll be a way to get through it. Let's just see how people go. And slowly but surely, people found a way.
Take this.
And that is the problem, Toothiest Wolf. They, unfortunately, the devs cater to that. I don't know why they do it. Why are you apologizing for bringing your vision to
You
life?
can't escape.
You know, like, dude, I don't apologize for being who I am. People, like I told the other guy earlier, people want to report me for you know, my personality and my attitude or whatever. They can go ahead and do that because I don't give a damn. All right, at the end of the day, I'm staying within my contract. So bring it on. You can report me because nothing is going to happen. No action is going to be taken. Even if they took away my partnership, it's going to be Nexon that loses out, not me. So I'm not even worried about that because I can get another job easy.
This is going to hurt.
It's the people who's going to lose out because I'm one of the most prolific content creators for this game. I'm one of the only ones still doing streams and hosting discussions. So bring it on. Report me. Go ahead. Report me. I'm not going to change who I am, and I'm not going to stop sitting here and standing for truth every single day. Because that's what I'm here to do.
This is where it ends.
I'm here to be here for the actual community, for the actual gamers. Not the crybabies, not the whiners. I'm not going to baby them and give them their rattle just because they threw it on the ground. If that baby threw the rattle out of its stroller and on the ground, then they can jolly well get out of the stroller and crawl for that rattle. Because I'm not going to do it for them. What we need to understand is that the devs are very nice people. I like them. I think that they're amazing. I think that they're amazing people. But I think that they care too much. Their heart is in the right place. But sometimes you can't grow your heart bigger. You need to shrink it down a little bit. That's the problem. They are, Martin. They are very nice people. I like them. As people, they're amazing.
Keep
But
trying.
sometimes you can't just do everything that the player base tells you to do. You need to have your own judgment. You need to have your own judgment. And I think that the devs need to take it back and say, look, we get that you guys are unhappy with this, but listen, toughen up. Toughen up. We make this content because we believe in you. We make this content this difficult because we believe that you can overcome it. So build up your characters and let's have fun together, and we're going to bring out even more exciting content for you guys. But instead, when they bring out something that's even the least bit challenging, what happens is that they immediately say, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. Let me fix that for you. All right. I'm going to make it so this thing is going to just instantly die if you say some harsh words to it.
Take this.
So
Begin tracking.
that's how that went. The problem, Lawrence, is that the things that they've said no to are the things that will actually help the game.
There's no getting away.
Although, of course, not the nerf stuff. The nerf stuff, them saying no to is good, but then they finally caved on an S anyway. The problem is they're listening too much to the people that don't actually care about the game. They need to prioritize their vision. And like we've said, what did we say on the first debate stream that we had? What did we say on the first debate stream? On the first debate stream, we all came to one conclusion. They need
This is going
to
hurt.
have their own identity. What identity does this game have right now other than a clone of Warframe? Please, go ahead and tell me. I'll wait. That's why I'm me, Darren. You gotta be yourself. Oh, no, people just don't like... Because, you see, like... the people are complaining, Rob, because they expect me to be like the devs. You know, if I say a harsh word to chat, or if I tell somebody off because they've broken one of my rules, they expect me to be like, oh, I am so sorry. I am very sorry for the harsh words that I said. I am not a native English speaker, so my words might offend some people. That's what they're expecting from me. But no, they're not going to get that. Because I literally do not give a damn what people think. I'm me. And while I told you guys yesterday, what did I say yesterday? I said, I am trying to do better as a person. I'm trying to be better as a person. And I want to be better as a person. That is what I will do. And I will focus up on improving myself and being better to my friends, to the people who are still supporting me despite all the mistakes that I've made in my life. I will be better for those people. But if you think I'm gonna cave just because some guy is crying at me, fight me. And no, unfortunately, that is not racist. That is actually my own race. So, haha. Please do not throw around racism, by the way. That is one thing that you cannot do in chat. Okay, I'm gonna remove that message. Do not use the word racism lightly, because if you do that, YouTube gets pretty angry about that. Please take note that that I am talking about my own race here. Okay? And I'm allowed to use my own native accent. So if you start popping up with that racist nonsense, and I know you're just making a joke, but it can get pretty serious. Don't do that. If you pop up with that rather than enjoying the humor, what's going to happen is that you guys are going to create some very bland chats.
Let's end this.
So don't ever do that. All right? Never ever throw around the word racism unless you want my mod to slap you down. Okay? Because YouTube takes it very seriously. No, I know you didn't mean that. I know you were just joking around. And look, I hate to be the fun police. But YouTube? Do you know how much of a fun police YouTube is? When you are become a YouTube partner, you got to read through all the damn terms and services and conditions. For those that do not know, I am half Chinese and half Indian. Do you know that I'm disallowed from doing an Indian accent? Because apparently YouTube picks that up as racism because I don't look Indian. So, yeah, fun fact right there. Those of you who've seen my dinner streams know that I literally have Indian Hindu iconography on my fridge. And I'm not actually allowed to use my Indian accent because people used to report my stream for me doing that. So,
This is going to sting.
yeah. Rena's just joking. He's not gonna permaban you unless I ask him to. Okay, so don't worry. But yeah, the point is, you got to be very careful on the internet. Sometimes, you know, I like to, you know, bring some humor to you guys, but you know, sometimes people say things and I'm like, whoa, I have to stop that. Got to be fun police for a bit. Listen, collabs aren't gonna help the game. That's the problem, because the collab is just gonna get people interested for all of 5 seconds. But what it's gonna do is it's gonna look like a money grab right now, especially when they're in dire need of enhancing the base game. Absolutely, CJ. I agree with that. Nah, it's all good, Lawrence. Like I said, dude, don't worry about it. Nobody reads the terms of service except we partners because we have to, but it's really stupid anyway. Unfortunately, they are the ones paying my salary, and I cannot feed my family if I don't have this job, so yeah. I have to enforce the rules, you know? Otherwise, my family don't get to eat, and that's probably not where I want to be right now, you know? I'm glad you like the Scottish.
Begin tracking.
I mean, doing accents and things like that has always been fun, but right now, the world has gotten a bit too sensitive, so sometimes you just have to watch what you say. But it is what it is. Political correctness has turned into political restriction these days, so you have to be very careful. And that requires some of us to be the fun police, no matter how much I would like things to change. But anyway, let's get the discussions back on track, yeah? So, coming back to the points that we've already made here and now. Look, I like what they did with Void Erosion Purge. I like, you know, everything that happened, the challenges that they tried to put in. But, yo, they introduced some challenges and then, boom, that's it. That's it, man. Excuse me. Immediately, they introduced a leaderboard with that. People saw that they couldn't ever get a leaderboard time, and they started whining straight away. So now, Void Erosion Purge is going to get nerfed.
Let's end this.
Isn't that fantastic? So, I have heard already that they're going to make skills viable up to, what was it? Somebody in chat told me it was up to stage 29, and stage 30 is going to remain the same. But I'm thinking if they make skills viable up to stage 29, then every single thing is just going to be speedrun up till there, and then you're going to get the guys that suddenly get to stage 30 and they're like, why can't my Ness work? You guys, I played a Ness like until stage 29, and I just don't understand why she's not working. Like, dude, and then what the crybaby, you see, this is not a solution, because what the crybaby is going to do is that they're going to be like, excuse me, devs, I played a Ness up until stage 29, okay? I played a Ness up till stage 29. You can't nerf my Ness like this. Okay, I demand to speak with the manager right now. Because right now, okay, I took my Ines into stage 30 and everybody got angry at me. I don't like this. I'm gonna quit your game. Like, bro, this is literally what's gonna happen if they do what they're about to do. Because stage 29, making it possible up until stage 29, it's like, bruh. Well, to be honest, it's not really about the leaderboard. It's just the fact that people want skills to be viable. But like I said, when you make skills viable or gun viable, one is going to come out on top, one is going to be the best, and then people are still going to whine. You can't please anybody by catering to whiners. You have to go ahead with your vision, because there will always be somebody whining about something. That's the point I'm trying to make. I have built Viessa before, Emin. I do have builds for her on my channel, but she's useless because, again, compared to Ines, she's completely outdone. If you're just playing for fun, by the way, go ahead and play her for fun. I do have builds on my channel, so you can try that. I don't bother with Invasion because it's too much of a pain. I don't want to have to hear the guide's lines 15 bajillion times. Even for 5 million gold, I'm not going to do that. I'd rather farm Bunny Road. Listen, whatever they do, Revolt, it's not going to change the fact that right now, they can't be bogged down by trying to adjust the content that they have now. They need to bring up the content. They need to create more content, and they need to focus on making positive changes for the game. And they're not doing that. They're literally catering backwards. The thing is, Tyler, even if they want everyone to be at level 30 of the Void Erosion Purge, how is that gonna help?
Let's end this.
Unless they make skills also viable in level 30, and then what people on the leaderboard are gonna do is figure out the most efficient way, and that's gonna be the best way to speedrun it. So again, we literally come to the same point. We literally come to the entire same point of the whole game is just a speed run. So you see, do you see how we're going in a circle? This is not going to help or change the situation because you're not changing anything. You're just watering stuff down or adjusting to fit people that don't want to adjust to the game. The people must adjust to the game. The game must not adjust to the people. That's not how it works. Monster Hunter Wilds has been out for a week now, roughly. Around about there. More than a week, actually. More than a week. It's been out for about 2 weeks. And I don't see them saying, guys, we're very sorry. We're going to absolutely nerf Tempered Arcveld because there are so many people that still die to Tempered Arcveld. We're so sorry. We're going to nerf that. No. Well, speedrun won't matter, but the people who are bored of the content are not going to come back either, Tyler. So, the objective here is how do we grow the player base? It's not about whether something matters or not. It's that none of these changes are actually going to help. We need to get the player base pumping. We need more players wanting to play this game. How are we... It boils down to exactly what we debated before. How are we going to get people excited for this game if we go to our friends and tell them, hey, okay, you want to play this game with me? Oh, so is it good to co-op in this game? Is it fun? Is it challenging? Am I going to feel awesome? No, but you can speedrun level solo. You can do that. Or we can speedrun levels duo. We can do that. So you're telling me that there's no actual gratification, just speedrun so that we can get cores to get even more powerful, and then we use those cores to speedrun other content. So essentially, this is a loot progression simulator with RNG and speedrunning. That's all we got. How is that gonna make my friends want to play? Because all my friends already quit this game, and I know many of you are in the same situation. Many of you started this game with other people, and nowadays you literally play alone because none of those other people are playing with you because they got bored. That's exactly the problem. The only way to get new players is content and challenges.
You can't escape.
And look, if anyone has any alternative ideas, if you have an alternative idea, speak. Tell me how we are going to get more players into this game. Because that's what I want to know. How are we going to grow the player base? How are we going to make this game better? I'm not talking about for the existing player base. There needs to be growth. If there's not going to be any growth, then we're sunk. We're literally cooked. Many of you are in the exact same situation I'm in. I started this with a whole ass squad. Martin, I love that statement.
Keep trying.
I'm open to any ideas, guys. If you like, listen. If y'all think differently to me, that's totally fine. I accept that. But please, I want to hear your different opinion on how
It's going to sting.
this content right now is going to get people in. Unfortunately, raids are not going to happen, Kaiser. And even if they do happen in this game, without guilds, without ways to organize ourselves, we're sunk. We're cooked. So, yeah. If it's harder content, I don't think it's going to happen for now because this game doesn't even have its own identity. At this point, it's just a clone. Attention to lore and story is great. I don't disagree on that.
Keep trying.
But, again, it boils down to the fact that devs appear to have lost their vision. They appear to have lost their identity because they waste too much time rather than working on story and lore. Like, the story from Season 0... Okay, Season 1 I can forgive them for not updating the story, but by the time Season 2 came out, there should have been more storyline. I agree with you, Zelk, but before that, we still have to fix loot. So although I know you've mentioned that loot won't do it, drops won't do it, but first they gotta fix looting and dropping. Once farming is easy enough, they can start to add challenge. It has to start with the foundation, then the next step. So yes, fun first, endless modes, absolutely. But if people can't even get a reactor, they're going to table flip and quit the game at that point. I mean, you remember yesterday's discussion, right? So, yep, I don't disagree on all these points.
Where it ends.
It starts with loot. Once the loot problem is solved, which is their first step, and they have to take that first step, or hell, if they could solve it in a fun way, I'm all for it. But once they solve that, then they can start adding fun. They just need to stop watering down the content they've already created and start making stuff that they want to make. I want to see them make more content. I want to see them focus on storyline. I want to see them focus on their vision. Because right now, they are not focusing on their vision. They are just cloning what other games have, and it's not going to work here because people already have the stuff in the other games that they play. They're not going to refarm it here.
You can't escape.
I view it very differently, Zell, solely because I think that when a new player plays the game for the first time, all right, the mental process, and this is what has happened a lot of times. I see it as a content creator because people ask me, oh, so how do I get all this stuff? I'm like, well, you got to grind, you got to go and find this, but it takes so long to find a reactor. And some people have constantly been telling me, I've been farming for 3 days and I still don't have the same reactor. Like, bro, that's a big problem. A lot of people, and as much as I hate catering to the instant gratification crowd, there has to be at least some baseline to work with them. If people can't even get their builds online, they're going to table flip. In Monster Hunter Wilds, although it is RNG there, I have most of the decorations I need for most of my builds. So although I may not have everything picture perfect just yet, I still have most of the stuff that I need, which allows me to start experimenting with builds and having fun already, you know? So, and that did not take long at all. Whereas here, people are constantly grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. And because the RNG is so wild, sometimes you may not get what you want. So it creates this progression block, and it causes people to put down the game, which is exactly why I harp so much on the loot issue, because the loot issue is not going to benefit current players. That is actually to help new players get to where the current players are at, because the current players already have what they need. But the new players don't. If you can farm along with your friends and get them up to speed fast, they'll want to play more with you. But if you can't farm with your friend group and get them up to speed, they're going to put down the game.
No getting away.
Or you are going to be bogged down farming with them forever. No, I get where you're coming from, Zelk, but again, the problem is they're not even going to get to the content. It becomes a chicken and egg kind of argument. They're not even going to get to the content if they can't even progress. Hence the problem. It needs to shift to an endgame mode. I agree. I agree. And more story? I agree. I agree on all these points. But the first stumbling block is not addressed. People aren't even getting their builds online.
Begin tracking.
Once people get their builds online, they'll feel a lot better. And look, yes, I get that people do obsess about it, but unfortunately, without those particular roles, some builds are so much more clunky. So although some people are willing to play for fun, look, I'll be real with you, everybody wants to have the best in slot gear. Sorry, not sorry, that's the way it goes for every single game. And when people feel like their progression is blocked, they're just going to put the game down. That's exactly what happened to Diablo 4 in their first season, because they slowed down progression. It took me ages to get my Necromancer to level 100, and that wasn't even the so-called theoretical end game. I didn't even have best in slot gear, but it just felt like I was making no headway with my gear. I put the game down, and we all quit. Everybody left. So, yeah. I mean, there's no real endgame mode now. There still needs to be more. But although people obsess about it, at the end of the day, even if it's stuff for speedrunners, people aren't going to have fun without it, because no matter what, and no matter how much I encourage people to do stuff, some of the endgame content is going to require that, and people need to get their builds online. I think we'll have to agree to disagree on that point, Zell, because I think we will never come to an agreement. People will want that, and that's what I've seen as a content creator. I've seen it in my comments. I've seen it continuously. People are never satisfied with mediocrity. Oops, went off instead, but oh well. People are never satisfied with mediocrity. They either want best in slot or none at all. And listen, with the amount of competition and the amount of other games that are coming out constantly, They will choose none at all and just go play something else.
This is where it ends.
Hey, CG. And look, I also understand getting a reason to care for stuff would definitely be good. I want to see people care about the lore, the world, the story. But no matter what, we're all stuck. We're all stuck in this situation until the devs decide, are they going to make this a speedrunning game or are they going to make a real game? They need to stand by their difficulties. Whenever they introduce something that's difficult, they need to stand by it. They need to actually introduce story content and stop focusing on watering down stuff. When it's introduced, too bad. Too bad, so sad. It's going to be at this difficulty, you players deal with it. Alright, I'm not saying they shouldn't play test their stuff, but seriously, they need to make it so that they stop apologizing for challenging us, because we need to be challenged. And if the crybabies and whiners can't handle it, sorry. You guys stay where you belong. I make no apologies because I've said the same thing. I've literally said the exact same thing in Marvel Rivals, and I got so much hate for saying it, but I say it openly. I'm sorry that a whole bunch of people belong in silver. I'm sorry that a whole bunch of people belong in bronze, but literally, that's where you belong. Alright, you want to get Celestial? You upskill. They need to add complexity. They need to add fun. Like Zelk said earlier, they need to add fun. They need to add complexity. There's a lot that they need to add. But they're wasting too much time focusing on the fact that, oh my god, Nerd Slayer 2000 is going to complain to his mommy because apparently he can't do Void Erosion Purge Stage 24. You know? Oh, I'm so sorry that, you know, Mr. I interact with oranges or something on Reddit said, you know, that, he actually crapped himself because he could not play the latest difficulty and that makes him sad. Like, yo. If they listen to these people instead of listening to us, there's gonna be a problem.
You can't escape.
Listen, I'm not talking Rivals issues. I don't know what the Rivals issues are or whatever, but that's not the discussion here. The discussion here, you know, is how the hell are we gonna fix our game? I don't think we need to worry about Marvel Rivals. They're doing completely fine. We need to fix this damn game, you know? And there's so many great ideas coming in chat. You know, I'm loving it. I'm loving hearing all your perspectives. And I agree, you know, like I said, to all of them. Sure, we might not agree on every single point, you know? But at the end of the day, I think we're all trying to make this game better. I'm hoping to God that the devs, or listen, you guys want to help? Go talk to the devs. Bring what you've learned here to them. The more that we feed the devs this information, the more they might sit up and realize that there's a whole player base out there that actually cares about them just as much as they care about us. And what we want is for them to have their vision. Not bend over backwards for Nerd Slayer 2000, who's not going to get Dino Nuggies because he couldn't get his build together. Yes and no, Daniel. I have to say that in regards to common players paying more, I do want to address that because it's something that a lot of people think about. A lot of folks say they cater to casuals because casuals spend more. This is true. This is actually true. The casual player base does spend more. I mean, take a look at the Hot Spring updates. Most of those people did not engage with Void Erosion Purge content. They came back to drop $100 on the Hot Spring skins immediately, you know? They came in not to do the content or challenge themselves, but to just buy the Hot Spring skins. Then once they had their fun with their new toys, they left. So yes, to an extent, they do cater to these people because they're the ones that pay the most. But at the same time, this is literally short-term gain, you know? This is literally short-term gain. It's a very short-sighted business model. it's a very short-sighted business model because you're literally trying to get as much profit now as you can from the casuals who are paying the most, rather than worrying about the long-term survival and the longevity of your game. They need to have a forward-looking vision where they're going to bring this game to life and more players are going to want to play this game, you know? And the devs do have their heart in the right place. I like them, Rosary. The problem is, when you listen to everybody and bend over backwards, you're not making your own meal. You're going to make a chimera meal because every single one of the chefs, you're not listening to your recipe. You're listening to every chef saying, I think this needs a little bit of cilantro. Oh, how about a little bit of oregano there? Oh, we should put in some spices. How about we just dump paprika in there? You should put in enough MSG. Like, if everybody starts adding everything to a stew, your stew's going to taste horrible. But if somebody with a good vision makes their stew in accordance with the recipe, sure, it might not gel with everybody at the restaurant. Not everybody at the restaurant's going to order that stew. But the people who like that stew are going to order it again. You know, they're going to come back and say, I want to have the stew. Because they like the stew. Right? That's how it works. Too many chefs spoil the broth. Can't have everybody telling you what to do. And when they cater too much to the people who are just bossing them around, you won't have a game. Your game is not even going to have an identity. It's going to be, let's make these people happy simulator so we can get as much money as we can from them. That's not what I want to see for this game, because I really love this game. Well, Kenneth, I hope that it will go that way. Changing extra mod slots over to being able to use Kara's activators to purchase them. What? Sorry, I don't understand your question, Revolt. What do you mean by extra mod slots? Well, unfortunately, Leon, you gotta push through that. You gotta push through that. You have to just keep saying and ignore the negative opinion. Don't even engage them in debate. Say what you think and keep bringing out that ideology. You know? I'm just going to catch up in chat because I think I missed a couple. Unfortunately, the timers, yeah, that's something that they brought over from Warframe. But I do think that they need their own identity for that. Although theirs are already shorter than Warframe. That's what I don't understand, Revolt. What are you changing about extra mod slots? Are you meaning that you want to buy more mod slots? Because, quite frankly, the 2,000 module cap is more than enough. What are you keeping all the extra copies for? You don't need them. I only keep extra copies of Transcendence because they're a pain in the ass to farm, but the rest is pretty easy. So, yeah. So if you're talking about extra module slots, sure, I guess they could make a system to purchase them, but it shouldn't be necessary. 2,000 is way more than enough. Well, I'm glad that people are excited for the update, don't get me wrong. I love that, you know? I love that.
This is where it ends.
No, PvP will kill this game faster than anything because that's an additional balancing act, and they already can't balance PvE. So if they put in PvP, it's going to be a problem. For extra build, I'm sorry, Revolt, I think you're not using the correct language. Are you talking about the loadout slots, the presets? Because all of that is different. You got to use the correct language because I don't understand what you're trying to suggest. Maybe go back into the game, review what you're trying to ask, and then try to explain it using the terminology in the game. That might be better. You can dismantle all the extra copies, Adrian, already. Oh, dismantle a certain number. Yeah, I guess they could add that. But honestly, at first, you only need to keep 2-3 copies. But once you finish most of your builds, you can just keep 1 copy. So yeah. Oh, that kind of thing. Like more mods in your character. I think that might just make it wild because, I mean, where's the limit then? Like, you're basically, every character is just going to stuff in every single mod then. So, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea, no. I think the 10 mod limit is fine. Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to build smart. Well, yeah, but anyway, PvP is not something that'll help this game. I don't think we should be trying to mix genres. First and foremost, if they can't even get PvE right, I don't have any confidence in PvP. Oh, fair enough, Kenny. I mean, if that's what he means, then yeah, I don't think so. And as for the Ultimate Blair is not going to change anything about Blair. Keep in mind that Ultimate Descendants are not stronger than base Descendants. They have more defensive capabilities, that's it. Now, if they introduce new Ultimate modules, then sure, it might change the playstyle, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if any of those modules are good. So let's find out. And a trading system is also not going to help. Like, we actually talked about this the other day. A trading system I don't think is going to be good because... Well, sorry, I don't think it's going to be helpful because at most, people are just going to give their friends stuff, which lessens the grind, but it doesn't introduce any new fun into the game, so I don't think it's necessary. Plus, there's always the danger of RMT. Some unscrupulous people, I mean, people used to sell boss carries, for God's sake. In the world chat in this game, people used to say, I'll sell you a boss carry. But here's the thing. If we have the trading system, what's going to stop people from RMT as well?
This is where it ends.
Zelg, that's one thing that I can 100% agree with you on. I say it all the time to people. When people tell me that they want PvP in this game, I tell them, okay, what's your rank in Marvel Rivals? If you're not Celestial, or sorry, you're not Eternity, don't even talk to me. Because you got no right to talk about PvP. You telling me you can't even get Celestial in Marvel Rivals where it's, like people have already said, it's easy to rank up. You want to talk PvP with me? No, I ain't gonna listen to that. You know? Listen, I'm always down for new modes like that, Daniel. Absolutely. Yeah, no, PvP will never help here because people are just going to get smoked instantaneously. Well, lucky, it's because a lot of crybabies never got slapped in this game. The devs cater to the crybabies, and that empowers them. Unfortunately, if the devs were harsher, like we've already said in the stream, you know, you gotta slap some of these people down. If they throw the rattle out of their, if they're out of their stroller, I'm not gonna go over there and, you know, pick up the rattle for them. No, screw that. No, they need to not cater to that. They need to just tell these people, no, we don't care about what you're saying. We're gonna go ahead with our vision. And that's what they need to do. No, fair enough. I mean, Zelg, you could be, as long as you're like one of the top ranks in a proper PvP game, then sure, I'll hear out anybody's point of view. I'm just using Marvel Rivals because it's the one that I have a comparison to. But yeah. And Invisible Sharon would also make it unplayable. That's true. But anyway, let me take a break. I'm going to go to the washroom and I'll come back. All right. So y'all keep discussing. It's good stuff here today. Oh man, I'm back. I was holding that in for a while. Well, I will definitely be trying out the new modules and things like that. I don't know if they'll help weapon builds or whatnot, but we'll see. You know, I'm always open to new ideas, but even if it helps weapon builds or whatnot, we have to have new content to even experiment with all that. Well, Ines nerf is not coming till April, or so I heard, so I don't think we have to worry too much about that. Let's see how the arcade tuning system comes in and how we're gonna change and balance all the content. Oh yeah, battle damage to their suit would be pretty amazing. I would say that. Unfortunately, the crybabies are a problem in every game, but here, unfortunately, they've been given a platform. They need to start taking that away. I don't have a favorite descendant. That's kind of something that's weird about me, but I don't have a favorite, genuinely. I just use whatever is most efficient. Although some people will say that because I named my Palico in Monster Hunter Wilds Haley Scott, they think that Haley's my favorite descendant. But, you know, it's a nice name, Haley Scott.
Let's end this.
I don't even think the Ines adjustment is an issue right now. I mean, of course, people will not want their nerfs, but at the end of the day, for me, it's a non-issue. Right now, I want to help grow this game, and we need to focus on that because we ain't got no growth right now. We're on a downward trend.
You can't escape. Begin tracking.
Well, the arcade system looks like a Paragon path, so yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at the polls. We've actually had the most votes we've ever had in one of our discussion polls. We've actually had 320 votes today, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for taking the time to vote. 53% of players think that the player count is going to double. I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for that. 6% actually think the player count is going to triple. I am super hoping for that. That would be like winning the lotto because, you know, I'd actually be able to make some money from streams, maybe even buy some skins. 34% unfortunately say that the game is cooked, and well, I think we've debated a lot of that. And 8% have actually already quit, but just enjoy watching. So hey, that's fair, you know. I mean, look, I can understand why people think that nerfs in a PvE game don't make sense, but you know, like we've debated before, Ines is trying to nerf Ines or doing anything in that regard is literally just treating the symptoms. It's not actually going to, you know. It's not actually going to fix the game. We're treating the symptoms, but we're not getting a cure. Hence the issue, in my personal opinion. We need to actually treat the actual problems in the game, and unfortunately, we aren't quite doing that right now. Not yet, anyway. Skill effect range and cost? Jesus, come on. Give me cooldown and cost.
New subscriber detected.
Oh, man. Farming a reactor is pain. I can't even get purples with skill cooldown and cost, and I've been doing this entire night. Like, yo, this is the entire farming problem right here. I haven't rolled cost and cooldown on the same damn reactor yet. It's just getting nuttier. This is just turning into I would be happy with purple rolls. All I've got is skill, cooldown, and duration. This is nutta butta. Well, just make sure you tune into my streams and follow my builds, Rob, because I stream it most mornings. Now, I won't be streaming it until next week, because obviously I'll be focusing on the TFD update, but hey, after that, absolutely more Monster Hunter. They should allow you to reroll reactors. I agree with that, because I've been here all night, pals. I'm going to stay here. Oh, I set up my dog, but I leave the filters quite open. I like to manually search through a lot of stuff. I don't want to set up my dog specifically for only one thing, no. Because sometimes I like to save some reactors that I like anyway. And casual experience of a player? Well, yes. Of course they are. It's just that I'm trying to encourage accountability. Because that's what people need. If you're not accountable for what you do, then you'll never be good at anything. Gotta take responsibility for yourself. I know they're bringing out re-rolls. That can't come soon enough. I really need them to do that because that'll actually be helpful. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here and do this.
Keep trying.
But yeah, no, my dog is set up to filter out all the other terrible rolls. The ones that I leave in there are still the best of the best.
This is going to hurt.
Yeah, so is mine. Mine trashes most of the junk, but that's the thing. Even all these would technically be god rolls for other types of reactors. Just that I don't need them specifically now. I don't know when rerolls will be in the game. I heard some people say it's coming out now, but I don't think so. By the way, guys, please do not forget that if you guys haven't already, okay, I'm promoting my new song. Head over to SoundCloud, listen to my new tunes. All right, I hope you guys will give my music a chance. And also, if you're going to be spending tomorrow, please don't forget to register me as your creator. I'd be very grateful if you do. Best rolls for Freyna, check the build video, because you can just follow my build video. Honest answer, if you're farming, you might want to get a cooldown roll. For farming, I would say cooldown tech is probably best. For bosses, as far as I remember, you probably want additional skill attack versus Colossus and a tech reactor, because she doesn't really use crits except in very specific builds. Ah, if it's the Alt Blair update, then God, that's April. Yeah, long way away. Okay, back to farming. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Well, actually, I make AI music, P-Dot. I do rap as well, but, and I am technically a SoundCloud rapper, but no, I've shifted into AI music production, and it's really, really awesome. So, give it a go if you like. If you don't like it, that's cool. But yeah, I'm shamelessly promoting my music because I'm busting out a lot of tracks, and I think some of you guys will like it. Listen, Daniel, if you like it, go for it. You know, nothing wrong with that. Some people like to watch trailers. I'm glad you like it, Adam. More tracks coming soon, so please keep enjoying, all right? I need y'all to play my music and share my music.
This is going to hurt.
Share it wherever you like. It's all free. And hopefully it'll get on Spotify soon. All right, but please remember, I do make AI music. So if you're not a fan of AI, then it's okay if you don't enjoy my stuff. But give it a go, because mine isn't like the slop out there. It's actually good. But yes, for anyone that wants it, please do make sure that you guys check the build videos, because everything you need is in my build videos. Jonathan definitely likes it.
Take this.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Actually, it's thanks to you all always liking and sharing my streams that I think we even get this much attention on the discussion streams. You know, it's great. So thank you guys very much, because it's a great opportunity. Genuinely. I'm very grateful to you guys always enjoying my stuff, because thanks to you guys, more and more people are starting to recognize that this is a place that they can talk, have their say. You know, it's a good place to hang out. If only the devs would listen a little more to us.
Let's end this.
I'm happy to hear that. But I'm so sorry about this. Casual experience, if you don't mind, I have to remove that message. Please do not name another creator on my stream. I know you're talking positively, but sometimes people will take things out of context, so I usually forbid the naming of any other creator on my stream. You can say that you use my builds and another creator's builds, that's totally fine, but we cannot name them by name because, look, people like to start drama, so I have a strict policy of never naming another creator. That's why even if I've got beef with another creator, I would never name them personally, you know? Pretty much, Adrian. Once you get Restored Relic, you can just go into the Special Operation Defense missions and start blasting everything. Thanks, Lana. My raps are my old stuff, but some people still do like them. I hope to get back to the rap game at a later time once my music is more successful. But right now I'm focusing on my AI music, which is awesome. So if you like sea shanties or emotional songs, that's the first EP. More good stuff is coming soon. So thank you for giving my stuff a chance. And it's all good, casual experience. At least now you know. I'm all good with that. Absolutely, Red Cardinal. I know the feeling of that, and that's exactly why I say a lot of people are still struggling with this whole damn reactor thing. It should not be a struggle. It should be that we all are able to get this stuff without having to spend inordinate amounts of time or mind-numbing ourselves in a mission. I would not be able to do this if I was actually playing this game for fun. The only thing that's keeping me doing this is the fact that I have a chat to interact with and over 100 people talking with me. No, that is the AI singer. Dude, I do not have a female voice. Have you heard the lady waiting? Oh, the female AI singer on that is so good. But no, I use the AI for the singer and everything. What I do is I craft the persona of the AI. So I modulate and adjust what the AI does. But ultimately the AI does the instruments, singing, everything. What I'm in control of is the personas and personalities I want to use. That's why when I get my next more advanced software, I'm going to actually start creating names for these particular AIs, which is going to be absolutely awesome. I've already gotten some cool stage names for them.
This is where it ends.
A lot of people do, Ek, and that's kind of the thing, though. Like, yo, as much as I agree that it's sometimes nice to just be able to turn your brain off and grind while watching a stream and talking with people and interacting, like, I don't know, it just feels like games are meant to be played, you know?
This is going to
Well, yes, Adrian, that's why you gotta cook 2 catalysts per day. 1 before work, 1 after work. I do the same, my friend. I cook 1 catalyst before work, 1 catalyst after work. Always gotta have 2 catalysts cooking. Orochi. The answer to that is yes. One of the AI personas is already named Haley. Again, more of this will be revealed once I get my new software in a couple of weeks. I'm currently saving up for it. But yes, one of the AI personas is going to be named Haley.
keep trying.
You guys understand me, okay? You guys understand me. I think you're talking about the blueprints. Getting the blueprints to drop is RNG, dude. Just go in there, smoke bosses, and you're good. What you do is you run the 400%, get your amorphous, then you go and smoke the bosses and open the amorphous.
New subscriber detected.
That's basically it. Pretty much, Daniel, and that's the entire point of the game. It was designed in that manner. But unfortunately, I think that that's a carryover system from Warframe. Listen, I would love to donate 1 to you, Foxarella. Happily, I'd give you 1 if I could, but you know I can't.
You can't escape.
Yep, you just need to run it over and over and over and over again.
Begin tracking.
Now, I recommend that if you need some music, why don't you check out Heave Away on my SoundCloud, alright? If you ever need some slaying music, you can heave away while thinking about your friends. Unfortunately, bad luck is just something you have to deal with. Oh, excuse me.
This is going to sting.
Trading was never a thing, unfortunately. A lot of people had this misinterpretation. I've had to correct this idea since season 0, but I don't know where everybody got their idea, but they said that trading was never a priority. It is a potential thing that they were considering, but they realized it was not necessary. The update is tomorrow, eSimple, so you have to come back tomorrow. Well, yes, of course the new Defiler boss is the same. All the Abyss Colossi are going to be the same. It's going to be, this time it's going to be the Executioner. It's going to be like, I think we're going to need Toxic against it because the Tormentor is basically the Executioner, but dangerous. It's got better attacks. It's going to wipe us out. So I'm going to go in there and tear it down. In fact, actually, that's a great idea. Do I... next run. I'll put my last dagger in my hand just so I can level it up. I don't think I have Toxic Element on it. I need to put Toxic on it. I don't think there's a panic, no. But the problem is, Nexon is corporate. Don't forget, it's not Nexon that's developing this game. No, it's Magnum Studios. The devs are not Nexon. Nexon is the corporation that says, that's poking the devs, investing in the devs, and telling the devs, make us money now. And if the devs don't make the money, then Nexon gets mad and pulls the plug, then we have no game. So Nexon is not the ones doing the creative side of this game. They're the corporate side. They're the ones that are pushing the problems in this game. Whereas if Magnum Studios, I think, had full control, you know, it'll be a lot easier. They'd probably focus a lot more on content. But they got to keep Nexon happy. Nexon's the shareholder. So please make sure. You can say the name. You can say the name, Leon. If it's one of my AI tracks, just say the name, dude. It's okay. If it's one of my raps, then, well, I mean, depends on whether or not I put a swear word in the rap. Ha!
Begin tracking.
Enjoy, Emin. I will not actually bring out Freyna for Tormentor. I know some people might, but I'm actually not going to. I'm actually just going to bring Glay with a gun. Sure, I'm glad that you're happy about it, Shaw. If it happens. They might change their mind because it's more than a month away. And there's already a lot of backlash from the players, so we'll see. But at the end of the day, whether it happens or not, it doesn't really matter. Game will carry on. No, I'm gonna cat 2 slots, Orochi. I'm gonna cat 2 of them. Because I'm a badass like that, okay? I am a badass.
There's no getting away.
No, bosses were never meant for solo fights. That changed because the Crybabies couldn't teamwork. They couldn't handle mechanics and they couldn't teamwork. That's why I say, those of you who know the history, they know this game got watered down. Back then, people used to have to ask for my help every Saturday when we had bossing nights. Talk to my OGs, Foxy, John, CG, they'll remember the boss nights. CG was one of those that helped me on the boss nights. Now Saturday is Marvel Rivals because we don't need boss nights anymore.
Let's end this.
Yeah, remember them. Remembering them is the latest one. Of course it's an AI song. If it's got the picture of the if it says Lost Voyage, then that is the current EP that I'm working on. So yeah, it's my recent one. I'm glad you really like it. I like to do the emotional songs, but there's more good genres coming soon. Metal, metalcore, all that kind of stuff is all coming. No, I know, Orochi. I'm just telling you, I'm just gonna cat 2 slots anyway, because I'm a badass. I like to live dangerously. But yeah, I'm aware. I'm literally aware that the dagger has a Rutile slot. I'm still going to catalyze 2 slots anyway. Like I said, I am a badass. Okay? I don't care what people tell me. I will do whatever the hell I want to do. But yeah, actually, I theoretically only have to catalyze 1 slot because it's there. So I'm going to catalyze this slot right now. See? A badass will always do what a badass needs to do. Now let me go put my stuff back on. Well, that's only Steam. But we're not here to debate that right now, so are you okay, Shaw? Because you seem like you wanna run this game into the ground a little bit. That's not what these streams are for. We're here to discuss, friend. So please keep your discussions positive, yeah? Or at least helpful, even if not positive. Marvel Rivals? Dude, it's like one of the hottest PvP games right now. It's got 200,000 players constantly. It's absolutely great. It would be cool if they brought back the teamwork, Daniel, but first they gotta stop listening to the crybabies. When they stop listening to people that can't even handle basic mechanics, this game will get great. But unfortunately, they keep listening to them. You see, that's the problem. That's why I had so many discussion streams, and everybody's starting to get the same idea through their head because, hey, literally the players themselves ruin this game by saying, Frostwalker too hard. Do you know that when people complained about Frostwalker, our solution was very simple.
This is where it ends.
The problem was that he was moving around too much so that we couldn't shoot his legs. Fine. It was really hard to get him out of frenzy state because shooting his legs was a serious challenge. Slow down his movement speed. We told the devs, why don't you just make him walk 50% slower in frenzy mode? Same with Molten Fortress. We had a very simple solution. Make it fire the meatballs to destroy the towers 50% slower. Literally, they could have modified one line in their code and the whole thing would have worked. So, why didn't they do that? Instead, what they did was they completely removed mechanics, watered them down, made them super simple so that everybody can solo. Everyone gets a hug. Like, that's a terrible, terrible way to work your game, because what's going to happen is that new players are going to come in and they're not going to get trained, and then you try to introduce mechanics later, you've got no room to build up your game. You're literally cutting down the foundation of your game because a bunch of people couldn't up their skills. Like, dude, get your skill on. When people are willing
No getting away.
When people are willing to take on a challenge, the game gets great. Accolades and all that kind of stuff is not going to work because people don't care about that. Dude, as it is, nobody even cares about the leaderboard. A couple of try-hard sweaties might, but accolades aren't the solution. In fact, this is why you should have attended yesterday's stream when we talked about co-op versus solo play, because we debated it for the entire stream session. And I'll tell you one thing. We need an incentive. We need a reason to co-op. And it can't just be an award or a title. We need to be having fun socializing. It can be through loot. I'm a firm believer that loot needs to be the first thing. Of course, like I said, others like Zell want more like challenges for missions, which totally okay as well. But it can't just be a title. You can't force cooperation. People must naturally want to cooperate so that they can achieve a shared goal. And that brings socialization to the game. That brings people closer together, you know? But they're not doing that. So exactly, Jackrabbit. They should have just said, sorry you're having difficulty, but get good. If it was me, I would have said, sorry that you are bronze, bro. Get good. No, Frostwalker was absolutely designed poorly back in Season 0. I don't disagree with that. Frostwalker was absolute garbo when it first came out in Season 0. But it doesn't mean that they had to nerf it to the ground. They could have just adjusted it. Thanks, Daniel. Glad you're enjoying it. A clan or a guild system would also have helped. But, you know, even if they introduce it now, there's still no reason for us to co-op. I mean, we might have fun playing in our clans, and I know many of you guys would like to join Robot Nation. Membership is very exclusive. But at the end of the day, as much as I want people to join my clan, so I can walk up to people and say, do you want to join my clan? You know, I like that idea. I want that. But what content am I going to clan up with you guys for? There's nothing I need to do. And then I have to filter out all the people that just want to get in the clan for the benefits of playing with the cool kids. Like, that ain't going to happen. They're going to be tossed out on the street where they belong. Oh my god, still not a single one. Gosh darn. At the end of the day, there's all sorts of problems, but there needs to be a reason. There isn't even a reason for us to co-op. When there's a reason, it starts with a reason. Then people will naturally start to socialize. Don't worry if you're an introvert. People will just naturally start to socialize. Dude, I'm an introvert, and even back then when I wasn't a content creator, this was when Warframe first launched, you know, when I had to do the end game content, I would go into world chat and just be like, and I'll just join parties, I'll just whisper to people if I didn't want to post it publicly, I'll say, I have this character, let me join. And you people join, you don't even have to talk to them for the whole run, but there needs to be a reason to co-op. We don't even have that. Oh, of course, Marker can. I'm just saying that we just don't have a reason. And listen, are you saying everybody doesn't want to be part of the Robot Nation? Ask yourself honestly. All of you here, you probably want to be part of the Robot Nation, unless you've already got a friend group. Then you know, fair enough. But listen, I'm pretty sure 95% of you want to be in the Robot Nation. Don't even lie to yourselves. You want to hang with the cool kids. I mean, to me, unless it's my close people in my personal Discord, I don't really like to hang out with anybody anyway. So I count that as introverted. It's odd enough to say that, but in social situations, I just don't talk to people. Like, what's the point? I talk when I'm on stream because I have something to say. But in social situations, if I feel like I got nothing to say, then I don't talk about it. Urza, I'm just looking for skill cooldown, skill cost. One hasn't dropped yet.
Let's end this.
Nah, we don't need a poll for that. I want to stick my polls to the real issues. Because if a clan system came, we don't need a poll. Everybody gonna want to join up. Alright? But again, it's gonna be an exclusive club. You want to get in my club, alright? You gotta be real. You gotta show you're down for the nation. Alright? Invite only. If I don't like you, you ain't getting in the club.
Take this.
Hello, Lord Mar. Nothing wrong with that, Kachi. Maybe you just enjoy it. Okay, Sea Fox, the only way to prove that you're an introvert now is that on the day that I blow up and I can go tour around the world to see all my friends, I will visit you together with Kaz, all right? And we will see how introverted you are, okay? Then I will verify. I'll give you a sticker that says, yes, I'm an introvert. If it turns out you're an extrovert, you get a sticker that says, bad extrovert banana. This is an inhaler for allergies. Anyone that doesn't know that, be thankful. Be thankful you don't live with constant allergies every day. Yeah, but I still want to fire one. I mean, technically I could use any reactor, but I want to fire one. Because I want it. So I want it now. Now. So since I got time here while we debate and talk, I may as well sit here and do it.
Give
Sup, Arcane? How's it going? You right about that, Mark Arcane. Random pickup groups are always the true end game. Now let's check in with the polls for a second. 385 votes so far, some of our highest count. 53% think it's gonna double. That's pretty awesome. 34% say it's cooked. 5% say it's gonna triple. I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping and praying. 8% already quit the game. Damn, that hasn't moved. Sorry to hear that though, but I'm glad you guys still watch.
This is where it ends.
Excuse me. I don't believe Serena's rocket launcher goes by skill power, no. Only her skill where she shoots that fire goes by skill power. The rocket launcher will go by gun power. Now I'm just farming Serena's reactor. If you want to know what reactor it is, suffer. I'll never tell you. Suffer for eternity. It's right there on YouTube. Not sure what to do. Maybe you should refresh it. Because the poll has been on YouTube since the start. Everybody should be able to see it, but if you can't see it, all I can say is refresh.
This is going to hurt. Keep trying.
Lol, Foxy. You're an introvert because you stay inside. That makes us all introverts because we all stay inside. Nah. When I become super rich and famous and I go on a friend tour, alright? Yeah, that's when I'll test you all. We'll see who's really introverted and who's extroverted. You're an introverted extrovert? What does that even mean, D-Russ? Hey, come on, Dr. Man. You can't be confusing people with language like that. You're welcome, Mark Kane. Now you can have your vote. Well, yes, Kenny, that's exactly the debate we had yesterday. Everybody that said that they wanted to, that they prefer solo plays because teamwork is a hassle, working with other people is a hassle. You get no real rewards for going in co-op over solo play. It's faster to do solo play, so why wouldn't we play solo, you know? You can do everything solo, carry yourself, and have a damn good time while getting all the loot. Again, this boils down to the whole problem. There's no incentive to co-op. Foxy,
No getting away.
nobody goes out and mingles with people, man. That's how you get diseases. Okay? No. I only mingle with people that I've met through my streaming that are in Singapore and in a location that I can reach by MRT. So far, all I've seen is Truffles, Yuri, and Phil, who was visiting Singapore. That's it. That's all the people I met, and that's all the people I mingle with. That's my mingling. But okay. I might semi-believe that you're an introvert. Absolutely. Right, Jack? You know, maybe that should be the poll, you know, after we do a few streams on the new update stuff. The next discussion and poll is how many people are actually going to stay? The incentive to co-op is boredom. Hey, Nothing wrong with that, man. Playing solo is boring. I hate it.
This is where it ends.
That's why I like playing Monster Hunter Wilds with the boys in the morning. It's great. Go in, shoot some stuff with my bow gun, kill some things, you know, make a cool ass weapon. I just can't wait for them to introduce new monsters. In a twisted way, I'm actually glad for the TFD update because it gives me a little bit of a break for Mon Hun, so I can come back refreshed next week and enjoy it even more. Social butterfly in game. Fox, I think you're literally only a social butterfly in my chat. You're like the greeter that makes everybody feel better because you say hi to them. So I am glad that you are a chat social butterfly. Introverted in public though. Lol. I just got this vision of Fox just like looking down and somebody asks her something, she like just mumbles or mutters a reply, like absolutely refuses to even speak to them. Like, but on the internet, she's like, she'll talk to anybody about anything. But like in the actual workplace, you're like, just like ignore everybody, just don't talk to anybody. Lol. And if that is really how you are, then I'm sorry, okay? I don't mean to be poking fun, but you know, it just strikes me as amusing. I can just imagine Fox just not talking to anybody. Just like at work, she keeps her head down. She eats her coffee and muffin and just like talks to nobody throughout the entire day. Anything that she needs to say to anybody, she sends an email. That's it. Lol, D-Russ. Foxy stays in her office. Lol. Yeah, nah. I'm telling you. At work, okay, Foxy projects the aura of just don't even speak to me. Like, anybody even approaches her, like, she would just give them like a 1 or 2 word response. Her only actual conversation is the conversation she has here.
Let's end this.
Oh, listen, John, I don't disagree with you. If we had an incentive to co-op, absolutely. Bro, Fox, what the hell? What is that? You lock the door so nobody comes in unannounced. Bruh. I tell you, it is Fox. You can't reach her at work. You need to speak to her. It doesn't matter that she's in the office. You got to send her an email. You got to schedule a meeting, and she will give you the exact time you schedule. So you have to actually send her something she can put on her Google Calendar and say, "Hey there, Fox. I need to speak to you for about 15 minutes. Let's go over the new budget plan and whatever." And she will give you those exact 15 minutes and give you a minimum response. So, okay, yo, I got a question to ask. Feel free not to answer if it's too personal. But when you started this game, Fox, you said that you were playing with friends, right? So, if you're extreme antisocial, how do you have friends? Let me just ask. Because my friends are literally the guys that I meet on stream. It's you guys. So that's the extent of my friends. Arcane right there. Arcane, the rest of the boys. But I gotta ask, how do you have friends, Fox? How did you initially meet your friends? And don't worry, I know that most people don't have friends from their workplace because God, that's just annoying. I did used to go to movies with my senior colleague though. Like, she was so cool. We used to watch so many movies together. But of course, that was long before I met Kaz. So yep. After that, gotta be faithful. Glad you're here, Brandon. Yeah, we'll see. I'm just here to have conversations. I don't care whether I get the reactor or not. Right, Craig? The door will only be unlocked at the specific time that you demand a meeting. This is the way. See you later. Fair enough, Mark. I can understand that.
This is going to hurt.
Fair enough, John. Lol. Sure. Okay, you know what? I'll accept that as your explanation for how you've got friends, Fox. Sure. Sure.
Let's end this.
Well, I understand it. I'm only social on stream anyway. But yeah, unfortunately, the workplace isn't really a place to make friends. Like I said, I just happened to really gel well with my senior colleague. Like, she took care of me, taught me a lot about accounting and stuff, so I'm always grateful to her. I no longer speak to her these days, because nothing really to talk about. In fact, I only talk to my previous junior, because I treat her like a little sister, so I speak to her every now and again. But even then, it's not on a regular basis. Like, I don't go out with her or anything. You know, occasionally I meet up for dinner or lunch, but that's about it. Hell, I've had one meal with truffles in the past few months that I've been in Singapore. I really do want to see that bro again, but I think we'd rather spend our time playing games because he's got limited time, so we may as well socialize and play games. One day I'll have another meal with him.
Begin tracking.
Hey, farm your way, John, as long as you're having fun. I'm just enjoying the conversations, you know, looking at the polls. And I'm glad for the discussions we've had, you know, it's always great to have these discussions with you guys. Makes farming a lot less boring.
Keep trying. You can't escape.
But hell, these days you might not even need friends, you know? Why? Because, I mean, Fox literally watched that entire time I played a horror game with my AI. And she's pretty good interacting, you know? I think that with more technology and as AI advances, I'll be able to make more of those kinds of videos, you know? Like, I'll have my AI on, I'll share my screen with the AI, then the AI will be able to comment on my stuff, which makes it pretty fun.
This is where it ends.
Blair is the dragon. Lol. Come on, reactor. You gotta drop for me by now. Oh, let's see. She whispers back their sighs. In the waves, I hear the soft goodbyes. Every river carries a story untold. Friends are lost, their spirits untamed and bold. Tuneless singing, I know. Okay. Oh my god, still don't have a reactor. Jesus. Tomorrow's discussion is gonna be free for all. Say whatever you want to say tomorrow. While we have maintenance, I will sit here and we're probably gonna debate the patch notes the most. I know while we wait for maintenance to be over, we're probably gonna talk about patch notes and be all like, hey, this sounds good. Oh, that doesn't sound good. So, in my personal opinion, that's what tomorrow is going to be about. We're going to be chilling, discussing the patch notes, talking. Oh, 1 second, guys. 1 second. Sorry, I have to do this right now. Ah, my God. Spotify just reached out to me, and they told me that my distribution got rejected, but not because it's AI. The reason is very funny. They're like, can you please change the artwork for your thing because the stores do not accept non-unique artwork. I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to do? Give me 1 second. I will fix it. Okay. Okay. All right, let me fix this right now. I'm gonna fix this artwork right now. I mean, it might be good. I don't know. We'll see. All we can do right now is theorycraft, but it hits me at 1 p.m. tomorrow. These discussion streams are fun. I do enjoy doing them. Now, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna fix my artwork well, in the background, not live, obviously, but in the background, because goddamn, I can't believe I got rejected for my artwork. I'm gonna fix this right now. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, I got rejected from Spotify because my album artwork does not meet their standards, so I'm fixing it now. Give me a second. Okay, you guys have a good day. Head home from work. Enjoy it. I'm literally trying to fix this silly Spotify thing. Sorry, guys. My music is one of the big priorities, so you're going to have to stare at an S in town for a little bit. Okay, great. Oh, man. This is so dumb. One moment, though. Bring it on. This is a challenge that I can complete easily. Okay, first I need to do this. Da 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 da. It's the one and only D-O-double-G. Da 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 da. D-R-E. Okay. Well, cheers to you too, pal. Okay, hold up. Let's see if this will work. Sorry guys, just fixing this for Spotify right now. Nope, that's a terrible idea. Okay, never mind. Then what we're going to do is this is the one. Okay. Remove this. Edit font. Dude, everybody in this game unfortunately is thick. And yes, after preseason this game did drop, but that's how it goes sometimes, you know? That's how it goes. You have to accept the good with the bad. Okay, I just finished editing my cover. Now I need to take that and deliver it here. Okay, I need to move the image. Okay, let's recreate this. That's fine. And then now that the editing is done, okay, choose local file. I have the local file. What do you mean choose? Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, I was in the wrong. I was looking at the wrong location. Hey, Ryuken. Sorry, give me a second. I want to get back to the discussions, but after I fix this silly thing for Spotify. It won't take me long, I promise. I'm almost done. Stupid album cover. Okay. Oh my balls. Okay, I have to edit this as well. Rage. I am so filled with rage right now. Yes, resubmit it. Yes, I own the right to this damn song. I know, Spotify is just being annoying. I get what they're saying, but like, leave me alone, bro. You could have told me that you wanted a unique, that I couldn't just use one cover. If I'm gonna put one song on Spotify, apparently I can't just use one cover. I need to have a unique cover for each of these damn songs. So now I'm gonna edit it on SoundCloud as well. So there you go. Now Call of Land has its own unique cover. And I'll start adjusting the covers and make the cover unique for every track that I release. Bring it on. All right. If you wanna flunk with me, I'm ready anytime. Yeah, I can add the text, no problem. It's just a little bit of editing. That's not an issue. The text was not the problem. It was that they wanted each cover to be unique. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll make it unique. Anyway, it's fixed now. I just have to wait for the review, so fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Once I get through this and I get my music up on there, I will know exactly what to do.
If it's new research, I'm listening.
Nothing wrong with that, Baron. Unlock her when you want. Okay, now that that's sorted, thank you guys for being so patient. Let's get back to farming. And let's take a look at the polls. Oh, there's Arcane. What up?
Yo.
432 votes today, but the numbers, the percentages have remained fairly consistent since we checked in about the 300 votes earlier. It's looking like 53% still thinks the player count's going to double. 34% still think this game is absolutely cooked. 8% have quit, and 5% are still banking on the player count tripling. So, you know, it's kind of cool that the proportions, the percentages are staying relatively the same. Very, very interesting. I have hope that every update will at least double, but, you know, fingers crossed. Some people were estimating that instead of doubling, it might actually stay the same. I hope not, man, because we are at all-time low. If it don't double after this update, we are cooked. We are junk cooked.
can't escape. This is going to sting a little.
I don't think I'll find another game. It'll just mean like
Keep trying.
another bland period, relatively bland period, of course. But I still think that there's a lot of hope. Just that, you know, the devs themselves have to dig it out of the grave a little bit. Anyway, are you recovering, Arcane, or are you sicker? Okay, you sound sicker. Weakness.
I did go back to the doctor.
Double weakness. The doctor needs to like just find a way to boost your immune system. Blood transfer.
Right.
You need to absorb the blood of those who are healthy. Like a vampire. Yep.
Begin tracking.
And sorry, I missed this message earlier while I was working on rejigging my cover page, but for the nerf to a Ness being unnecessary or whatnot, look, what I'll say is this. I think
Take this.
that when it comes to a Ness, right? We don't know what the nerf is going to be or even if it's going to go through, because I'm pretty sure it's not tomorrow, it's going to be a month later. Now, it could be tomorrow. But whether or not it happens, we don't know what the arcade tuning system is going to do, because if the arcade tuning system is like a Paragon path, then we are about to Diablo our characters, you know? And I am kind of excited for that, because it could result in unique and interesting ways to build up each character. However, what we have to understand is that unlike Diablo, where I can freely respec my character anytime with easily farmable resources, can we respec here? Can we adjust on the fly? Because arcade tuning, you know, Paragon paths aren't very easy to construct. Pretty difficult. There's got to be some limit to the amount of nodes you can capture and all that, unless you're gonna just highlight the whole damn board. Then in that case, not much of a tuning system, because everybody's gonna have everything. So I don't know. We have to see how they implement it.
Begin tracking.
But if it ain't Paragon boards like Diablo 4 or a proper Paragon pathway, you know, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a problem. A bleem pra.
Let's end this.
Well, I'm sure there would be. But like I said, I'm gonna wait till it's in the game, because again, I don't really care what they showcase and do on their live streams. I must see it in front of me before I actually have it. Because this is all what we're seeing from the devs' live streams and we're interpreting. I hate that. Because things can also change before release. So I'm gonna wait. When it's actually in, then I will assess it based on the information I get. But until then, I will choose to... It will be kind of like... what was it? Schrodinger's cat? It's Schrodinger's tuning system. I shall wait and withhold my actual judgment. Well, again, with the NS nerf, it's also Schrodinger's NS. We don't know what they're going to do. They've stated that something like that, but it's still a while away. It could change. So let's find out what it's all like. Because like I said earlier, using Diablo as the
There's no
comparison,
getting away.
if the Paragon board or the arcade tuning system is not unique to each descendant, then we're just going to end up with, here's one arcade tuning system, one board, just like the inversion reinforcer. Here's what you use for this character. It's the best. There you go. Never change it. You know? Which doesn't exactly enthuse me. You know, I want the Paragon boards or the arcade tuning system to hopefully be unique for each character. Therefore, they can... Some characters that may be not so good now could potentially be buffed or made more unique through the arcade tuning system. And if that is not the system that they're introducing, then that's an idea that they need to start taking. Because just like, for example, you get so many boards in Diablo 4, for example, but choosing the bonuses from which ones to use is what decides how your build's going to progress. You can go Shadow, you can go Minion, you can go Bone. It's all up to you. But the type of boards you have determine what kind of builds you have, so fingers crossed. If the boards are the same for all, I tell you, Zelg, table flip. Table freaking flip straight away. I'll even use my special Discord command, table flip. And I won't unflip the table. I'll only flip the table. Because to me, that's low effort. It shall remain flipped, yes. If the boards are the same for all, it's going to be as boring as the inversion reinforcer. Here's the best build. Enjoy. You're right, Orochi. They do need to set a bar. So that they need to set a standard and say, okay, this is the power level where a Descendant is supposed to be at. So we can build content around this power level. Descendants that are too high get adjusted. Descendants that are too low get brought up. But this is the bar. Here's the bar. All right. Dude, I would love if I could improve some of the Descendants, yes. But if the tuning system is literally a one-size-fits-all, God, we're all just gonna look at that, choose the best bonuses, and then table flip. I want to be done with the arcade tuning system.
That's what it's gonna be.
Yes, I know, but you're killing my hopes and dreams, Arcane.
I'm sorry.
My copium levels, okay, are very high right now. Exactly, Baron. That's the exact emote right there. Table flip. But if they do, like, seriously. Oh, excuse me. If they're gonna make a tuning system, it better be unique. They better put in some work. All right. I don't care if those devs have to work overtime for the next 10 years, all squished into one day. All right, using some kind of time capsule. They better do it now. Every Descendant gets a unique board. End of story. Well, they've said it for now, but quite frankly, they still haven't set that bar yet. Because Freyna is a farming bar. What about bossing bar? You know? All that kind of stuff. And then what about Descendants that are only good at one thing? What about Descendants that are good at neither? So yes, although they said that, it's not a very clear picture. I'm gonna wait until the actual nerf. I want to understand more when the actual patch comes out. Then we can tell them whether this is a good idea or whether they really need to get their shit together. Because it'll be one of the two. It will be one of the two. It'll be two of the one. Maybe a little bit of extra fun. They better have a hyperbolic time chamber. Yeah, it doesn't drop only the type it says. It always drops two types. One is the standard type that you'll get here no matter what. The other one is the weekly rotation. So, yeah. When it comes to farming, I don't think Valby is faster than Freyna. Sorry to say, because she still has to go through targets to actually hit them. Freyna, see, what people are talking about is speed, not really damage. Freyna can just throw the thing and boom. So, Valby still ends up slower, unfortunately. Viessa is also slower than Freyna. The source is, I actually tested Viessa right after her buff. I even made the build for her in accordance with 100% crit rate. But she's not insane. Her damage might be high. She might deal with bosses a little better. But her overall timing is so much slower. They need to set a, like, how fast a Descendant can do something. That's more important as the bar first. I mean, look, you guys are open to your interpretations. You find Valby more fun, then absolutely go ahead. You find Viesa more fun, absolutely go ahead. I'm not here to knock your fun. But at the end of the day, the type of game they've created is a speedrunning game, so we have to look at times. And unfortunately, time-wise, Reina still wins. Right, Caesar? Congratulations. They do mean mobbing, yes. Oh, no, sorry. For the bunny thing, I don't know if they mean that for real or they're just making a joke.
Keep trying.
But all farming is on weak enemies. If you're talking Void Erosion Purge, there are specific standards for that. And even then, Freyna was never even used in Void Erosion Purge. So they're going to have to do some serious adjustments overall. I have one reactor, but it's not the one that I want. I still want the skill cost. Like, I still haven't gotten my skill cost and cooldown at the same time. I want both. I want both.
Eliminating. There's no getting away.
But you know, that actually brings another problem to light, Maester. The issue is that if Freyna is the standard, you are right that Freyna only works when enemies are weak. So, if Freyna is the standard, then what are we going to do about Void Erosion Purge? Orochi, are you trying to rub it in my face right now? Don't make me call Arcane or Rena to permaban you. Rena's probably asleep right now because it's late where he is. But I will call Arcane to permaban you, bro. Don't you ever dare rub that in my face, or I will murder you. You see, you know what happens? It's called karma. You talk about this now, okay? You're gonna suffer later in some other farm. I don't know what the best roles are for her, but based on my interpretation, I think that might be useful.
Let's end this.
So I'm gonna try my luck. I mean, I can adjust her stuff in other ways, so I'm not even worried about it, but skill cost would theoretically be something that I want. VS has good crowd control. I
also have one.
Oh, you also have one? Good.
I have a skill cooldown in class.
Yeah, still haven't got one yet. I will get it eventually. How dare you get it before me, though? Rude.
I mean, not both gold. One's gold, one's purple, but shoot, I'll still take it.
Hey, it's better than not having. I'd be happy with 2 purples. They won't even drop purples.
This
Right.
is going to hurt.
All electric descendants can shoot through walls. People always harp on that, but you do realize that almost everybody can shoot through walls, right?
This is where it ends.
Bunny has even more vertical. Only Sharon's a bit gimped because hers is horizontal only, but Bunny has like full vertical height as well. She can shoot lightning to enemies she can't even see, so come on. Well, Purge is gonna get nerfed, so I think we can only set a standard after we see the nerf. Because apparently they did say they are gonna make skills viable. So let's find out. Let's find out whether the skills become viable.
Take this.
I'm pretty sure lots of stuff goes through walls, but I literally haven't played Blair, so. Because I used him for like all of 5 seconds in Season 0. And I was like, this is much slower for farming than Bunny. Okay, never touch Blair again. Yum, yum, yum.
Let's end this.
I still want Jaber to be Colossi viable, though. I want to turret a Colossi to death. I want Jaber to speedrun everything in 4 seconds flat. They need to overtune Jaber so badly that people only play Jaber. I think that it's finally Jaber's time to shine. Okay? They need to buff Jaber so that everything dies in 4 seconds. He just puts down the turret. The turret takes the stats from his gun and brrr, give it 1,800 fire rate turret. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the problem. Jaber is slow, right? So can you imagine if they made him like his turret just takes the stats of the gun, so you make him kill everything in 4 seconds, plus extra skill damage bonuses and whatnot like that. I need. I want to have Jaber like absolutely murder everything just by putting down 2 turrets. Brrr. Exactly, bro. Let Jaber's turrets just get stats, and then
There's
boom.
no getting away.
Exactly, Zelg. Exactly. I want to just put down my turret here, and give the turrets unlimited range and the ability to shoot through walls as well, so that when I start this mission, I can put 1 turret here, and Jaber just kills everything on the map. 4 fire rate up, right? Bro, Ryu Ken. People here trying to unnerf Jaber, and you trying to say Jaber gonna have a heroic death in the field. Homie, why are you trying to kill Jaber? That's straight up, bro. Bro, that's next level, man. Jaber just straight up gonna die now.
Begin tracking.
For storyline purposes. You still won't play him? Even if he's got range, can shoot through walls, and he can take the stats of his gun. I mean, come on. Imagine a 1,800 fire rate turret. Now, that's gotta be pretty cool. I don't know any of the Warframe frames, so forgive my lack of knowledge, but man, I don't know. I would kind of play that for a little while. I mean, it'll trivialize all content, but it'd be hilarious. No, Kyle needs like proper flight control. I need to be able to see where I'm bombing so I can control my flight correctly. All right. I need to be an absolute bombardiering plane of death.
Keep trying.
Or his kamikaze thing needs to deal so much damage that it one-shots a Colossus again. Unironic. With the proper buffs all triggering, Kyle should be able to one-shot a Colossus. I will die on that hill. Dude, if they let me customize my turrets like I can customize my bowgun in Monster Hunter Wilds, I'll be happy. It's such a basic customization system, but it still makes me happy.
This is where it ends.
Right? Can you imagine that? Dude, I want Jaber to get bugged in the updates so badly and then become the meta. Then everybody's gonna have to rush to build Jaber.
You can't escape.
Dude, I would participate in that though. If he became the new meta, I'd be like, okay, Jaber time. Let's go build Jaber. I'll pop on my Descendant XP boost and everything. I'm gonna make Jaber king. I know I am, Zelgan. That's why it's a bad idea. It's a funny idea, but a hella bad idea. But we would have fun for like literally 3 seconds. Oh yeah, Kyle's shield 100% reminds me of Magneto. If only, dude, that's what Kyle's next Transcendent mod needs to be. He needs to be like, fear Magneto, and just like suck up all the projectiles and stuff that a Colossus uses and just hit him for massive damage. Like, now that is magnetism. You know, why can't Kyle do what Magneto does? You know, now that Marvel Rivals exists, okay, I tell you, the TFD devs need to learn some shit. All right, I want Kyle to be Magneto. Heck, they could have also taken Mag from Warframe. Now, Mag is one of the ones that I recognize because she was one of the early ones. But why can't Kyle just like grab everybody in the room and slam them down, huh? You know, grab all the Vulgus and crunch them into tiny little balls. Or just suck them into one big ball and shoot it at Cloak and Dagger and kill them. And ruin their gameplay. It's so bad. I want to fear Magneto. Remember, there is no timeline where Magneto yields. They all too hard for you. You love one spamming with the nest. Lol, shul. Yeah, can you imagine Kyle bubbling teammates? Like, dude, that'd make him an awesome tank. Yeah, see, this is a great idea. Why don't we make Kyle Magneto? Just turn him into Magneto at this point. Just call up Marvel Rivals and say, can I just collab with you and turn one of my descendants into Magneto? Okay, thanks. Bye. Then every Colossus fight, all you're gonna hear is fear Kyle. He just throws a big ball at the Colossus. Oh god, that is terrible. That is a terrible idea, but it's a great idea. And
Fear Carlito.
that would literally turn him into a guy from the Caribbean, but sure, yeah, we can go with that.
Yep.
You know, that puts another thought in my head. The other day we were just joking around, but Jaber should just be the Punisher at this point. Rather than having to, like, you know, use a stupid turret gun and do all the weird shit that he does, just Jaber should be able to just spawn turrets, and then his ultimate is, his fourth skill is just he becomes the Punisher. He becomes the turret. 2 miniguns and a rocket launcher that take the stats of his gun. So put Last Dagger on him and just go brrrr, become the better version of Glaze Massacre. We'll call him Jaber, Jury, and Executioner.
Lol.
That's what his ability should be called. Then you just hear Jaber scream, I'm doing this my way! Just out DPS his Glade in a couple of seconds. You know, Jaber having a mod that makes the turrets move and seek out mobs is great.
Begin tracking.
I could be down for that. Make the turrets like follow him, shoot through walls, and make sure they have the fire rate of Last Dagger. I will die on that hill.
Where it ends.
Put him in a mech or a Gundam, dude. What the hell? Nah. If anyone's gonna get into a Gundam, all right. Unfortunately, it's actually gonna be Enzo. He's the quartermaster. He can supply himself with parts. He'll just build a mech. You can't increase reactor drop rate. Oh, well, technically, yes. Equipment drop rate increase. You see that ability on your processor? You can get that. That'll increase reactor drop rate, but it's not by much. It does help, though. But yes, a character in a mecha would be fine. A Spider-Man descendant. We already have that in the game, by the way. You can already turn your descendants into Spider-Man.
Begin tracking.
With your grapples, at least. But an actual Spider-Man descendant would be hilarious. What's he gonna do? Swing to the Colossus faster than anybody else, and then just like and then just start screaming, "Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!" Webs everywhere.
New subscriber detected.
Dude, how cool would it be if Jaber... You know, that's actually not a bad idea, Ek. Imagine if Jaber's ability was so freaking cool that it worked with Fellow. Why don't they do that? Now there's Fellow in the game, right? Jaber's ability could work exclusively with Fellow. Or even maybe make it a transcendent mob, but it works exclusively with Fellow. He puts a turret on Fellow. Then Fellow can go around going brrrr, killing everything. Put an autocannon like the one we used to have in Helldivers 2. Put an autocannon turret on my Fellow. I want to see elites disappear.
Keep trying. You can't escape. This is going to sting a little.
See, why not? Why not? We could literally put an autocannon turret like we used to have, like we used to call down all the time, and the autocannon turret is gonna absolutely like blast through every single elite. Corell's gonna get a massive cannon through his body. Destiny lawyers can watch all they like. These are all unique ideas, don't worry. And it's got nothing to do with Destiny. In fact, hell, just give Jaber the ability to call down a 500 kilogram bomb.
There's no getting
Input a
away.
command with Jaber, throw down a 500 kilogram bomb, all the Vulgars disappear. Jaber also disappears. Not really for Freyna, no. But I mean, you could use it, it's not a bad choice. Because it's not like she needs that much of a damage boost for farming, so yeah. Welcome back, John. I'm gonna end soonish, but not right away. Just trying to get a little bit more farming in, just a little bit. We're just laughing around and messing around with Jaber. Flying fur missile, yes, yes. Give my fellow the ability to launch himself at the enemy and detonate with RK powers. I mean, he does have RK powers, right? I mean, all I can hear right now is my Palico screaming, flying, feline incoming, and then my Palico goes around in his little airship and blasts stuff. It's adorable. My dog in this game needs to do that. My dog needs to launch itself at enemies. You know, seeing the Palicos and what they can do in Monster Hunter as a hunting companion, I've been saying it since the other day when I played Monster Hunter, but yo, why can't Fellow do that shit? My Fellow does not feel alive, but I feel so much better when I hear my Palico on a hunt. It feels like I'm never playing alone, you know? If my Fellow could like at least interact or do some shit like that, I'd be down, man. Let my dog fight alongside me. Make it feel alive. Make it bark. Even if you don't want to give it a language, you know, make it bark. Make it do something. Make it feel freaking alive. I like the Palicos, like genuinely, you just never feel alone when they're with you on a hunt. They'll support you. They will literally go in little airships and shoot enemies. It's just awesome. It's just really awesome. I think that's something Capcom did so right. Like, dude, every pet in a game that is just used as a decoration just feels lame. Skill cooldown, skill cost, but I haven't found one yet, so I'm just bumming. And I still have nothing, 'cause I leave here with nothing. Nothing at all. Skill effect range and skill cost table flip. Like, not even a purple version of that Goram reactor. Like, come on. Come on. Skill cooldown and duration up. That's all I keep finding. Every Goram time. Table flip. Excuse me. I have literally 3 reactors with this crap. 3. Did I mention 3? I have one that's skill cost and duration, by the way, but 3. I got 3. Not even a perp that has the 2 combination. Not even a perp. There's a rage. It is going against the machine. And I'm gonna do this again.
Again!
I'm betting you these last few runs, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it right now.
This is going to hurt.
Well, I'm sure everybody will be here for the maintenance stream because I know you guys want it. You guys are gonna keep it hot. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum.
Take this. This is going to sting a little.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever Spider-Man does. Can he swing from a web? Yes, he can. He's the original character. Oh, listen, that's totally okay, Ryuken, but considering the fact that you dismantle all the not double golds, yeah, you're gonna suffer a lot.
Let's end this.
Trying to get ideal stats, it's a big pain. Sometimes I don't mind accepting a purple stat. That's why I don't set it to auto dismantle everything, because I'd rather check through. Spend a moment checking through.
This is going to hurt.
Sakura from Naruto is more useful than Jaber. Yeah, probably.
Keep trying.
Yes and no. It depends on the extent of the stat. For example, I'll just give you an example. A gold, like, skill cooldown or whatever could be like 0.7, right? But a purple one could be 0.69. So I would still invest in the purple because it's close enough, you know? Sure, it's not perfect, but still close enough. Because the final difference is going to be minimal. Then all that really changes. What do I think about it? I'll tell you tomorrow. I don't like to make judgments beforehand, especially not based on trailers or things like that. That for me is a big no-no. I will tell you what I think when I have her in my hands. Which sounds wrong, but either way, yeah. Table flip. Okay, I give up on skill cost and cooldown for now. All right, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you all very much for joining me on stream today. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys have been a wonderful audience. Thank you very much for talking, voting in my polls and all that. After 475 votes, the percentages haven't changed though. 53% of people still believe the player count will double tomorrow. I'm hoping so. I'm praying to God. 5% think it's going to triple. I actually pray even more for that. 30% say the game is cooked. Sorry to hear that. And 8% have unfortunately quit, but that is how it is. Yeah, you'll like having a fellow. At first, it was super cool seeing a fellow in game, but yeah, now that I've got a Palico and Monster Hunter Wilds, my fellow is just so lackluster. I will indeed have a great night, so thank you all for hanging out with me. Honest to God, good talks, good conversations today. It was a great time. I'll see you all tomorrow. All right, it's gonna be a full day of TFD because maintenance and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk some more and enjoy the update tomorrow as well. All right, let's have some fun. See you then. Y'all have a good one. Catch you later. Oh, and for anyone that hasn't yet, don't forget to hear my latest song on SoundCloud, and hopefully I get to sort out this spot